And hello,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody.
Hello. Welcome. I hope my mic is on. Yeah, it looks like my mic's coming through.
Sounds good to me. I hear you.
Okay, cool.
And you know
Ray's
what?
coming
I
through.
hear you as well. So I don't care about these other yahoos in the chat. Let's just hang out. Oh my goodness, they heard me?
Yeah.
Wait, we're live? Shoot.
Folks, what are you watching? You're watching the R&R Show here on Rahdo Runs Through. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Ruel, that's Ray, that's Chris, and we're so happy to be here and to talk about games and do all kinds of shenanigans before we get to the thing. And speaking of shenanigans, right on cue, the balloons have been released, so we can officially say the show has started.
It's an exciting day. It's an exciting day. I think I'm going to start a new bit here, which is me trying to get Ray to spill as many secrets as he possibly can. That's going to be my new bit.
We
were talking about that a little bit beforehand, and now I've decided that it's just going to be a bit, and I'm going to do it.
It's really not hard. It's really not hard. I'm on a special email list where I only learn things at the very, very end because I'm notorious for accidentally leaking stuff, particularly on streams, because I forget that this isn't just a super secret club with just us, and that oftentimes they're recorded and kept places where people can then go back and check.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's not hard.
Well, that's great. So tell us some secrets then. You're the Tom Holland of the op, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Exactly. I really debated actually announcing this here just for funsies.
Yeah, do it.
But I don't think I should.
Do it.
I've got no prior approval to do that.
On. Who cares? Just throw caution to the wind. Just do it. Just think about it. Come on, we're just friends. We're just friends.
Yeah, peer pressure, my weakness.
Right? You can think about it. We'll circle back. We'll circle back later, maybe later in the episode, and then you can do it.
But okay, we'll circle back. But for now, the teaser. Chris is such a bad influence. I know.
Or a great influence for the chat. Come on, whose side are you on? Don't you want the secrets?
Do what you won't. Wait, God, nothing gets me better than do what you won't, chicken.
Right.
So the secret we were talking about before stream is we will be the off will be announcing a new board game tomorrow. So keep your eyes out on our various social media channels. I will say it is a relaunch of a very popular classic game. Ruel probably knows what. Ruel probably saw it at Gamma. So
I didn't
don't
see it.
say anything. Chris didn't see
Ruel,
it at Gamma.
Ruel can spoil it too.
Ruel probably knows what this is. I don't know
trouble.
if you saw it when you came by our booth, but we were showing it off at Gamma. It's a relaunch of a classic game. If you know what it is, shh, don't say anything. Or do. I don't know.
I'm on my phone right now looking at my photos from Gamma. I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Well, why don't you just shout out all the things that you saw at Gamma, and we'll find out which one it is when we get to it. So just any sort of names.
I'm so curious now. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, Ray, tell me if I'm getting close. It's
that was closer.
That was close.
Kinda.
Okay. All right.
But the reason I'm really excited about it is that this is a board game that I personally grew up with. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of the relaunch of it.
Wow.
Keep your eyes out on the op social channels.
Yeah.
What?
Have you mentioned it on this show before?
I have not. It's not Yum Yum Island. I'm so sad to say we're not bringing Yum Yum Island to mass market, unfortunately.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. God, I'm
trying.
Will
happen later. No,
I'm
but
trying so hard.
What was the one that you did that was basically just like a cutout? Like it was seemed print and play? It was like
In Cahoots.
Game. In Cahoots, yeah. That's
it's not In Cahoots. God, I would have spoiled that by now. If I had if we were republishing In Cahoots and it was releasing tomorrow, there's no way that that would have been kept a secret for that long. I don't know. I don't believe I've mentioned it explicitly on this channel before.
Yeah.
But it's a classic game that I'm sure a lot of people are very familiar with. And we're going to be revamping it, doing an art refresh and bringing it back to the US market. I'm very excited.
You know what's funny?
John Tripp says Okay, go ahead, Ruel, because I'm just too excited about this.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You say yours.
I remember being at Gamma Expo and talking to Ray about
Mhm.
this, and I believe you showed me, but my memory is just shot, and I don't remember a thing. And I'm looking at my photos. Apparently, I didn't take any photos of it, so it's going to be news to me as well.
So you're the perfect confidant, Ruel, is what you're saying.
Totally.
Oh man, chat's coming up with some great ideas. Oh my god.
John Tripp has it. Don't Wake Daddy Legacy Edition. Like, come on. Do you know?
Oh my God.
Do you know how quickly I would buy that? Like, I don't care. I don't care that my whole brand is like, hey, wait and see. No, doesn't matter. You buy it. Doesn't matter. The price, don't care. $1,000, yes. Money well spent. Don't Wake Daddy Legacy Edition. Like, don't even care how horrible it is.
I love it.
I just think that's one of the funniest games.
Don't Wake Daddy Legacy Edition. Yeah, I had a coworker back when I used to work at Resonum who was so hell-bent on doing Hungry Hungry Hippos Legacy. He had the whole thing like planned out. We never went for it. Probably partly because I don't know who owns the rights to Hungry Hungry Hippo anymore, and I don't think they wanted to give it to us. But also because don't know how that really would have panned out. But God, yeah, Suki, it was Suki. Yeah, Suki will die on the hill of Hungry Hungry Hippos Legacy Edition.
Suki, you're the genius I never knew I needed in my life. Like, yeah,
do not feed this idea. Let's see.
Just feed the Hungry Hungry Hippos. That's it.
Someone asked, does it have a new name / theme or same as before? Same name. Same basic theme. But done the refresh. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Wow, I wish I had a better memory. I would be enjoying myself right now.
I remember showing you a game, and I believe it is not the game that I'm talking about.
Okay, then probably not. Then I'm just a big ball of confusion, folks. So that's what you get when I'm here.
Oh, I want that on a shirt. You know what, Ruel? I don't know if you have a catchphrase or a tagline. I don't have a catchphrase, but I think yours should be, I'm a big ball of confusion.
I love that.
That's so funny.
Can we make that happen, folks? I'm okay with that.
Yo, Tim, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it.
Yeah, his name is Tim. And we know that Prime is working then, because somebody was mentioning last time that they didn't know that the Prime subs were working. You still get to subscribe if you have an Amazon Prime account, which I know most of you do. You can just subscribe to this and support the channel.
Yeah, thank you, friends. And appreciate it, Tim. And as you do, you'll get all kinds of benefits, like you get your little avatar down there, and you will also get discounts on Rahdo merch and all kinds of perks, including the secret monthly playlist. And someone just messaged me about that playlist. We do have a new one, and it should be out to it will be out to you if you request it. Yeah, it's a secret playlist of like about 20 videos that Rahdo puts together. And if y'all don't remember, we had a big hiccup a few months ago when we tried to do this. Twitch flagged us for spamming people.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And they just straight shut down our accounts. We freaked out.
Shut us down.
So now we ask you, if you're a subscriber, just message us and then we'll send you the link. And I just sent one link this morning.
It's so secretive that even Twitch doesn't want it to get out.
They don't like it. Yeah, apparently they don't like it.
But we're still going to do it.
Yeah, that's how we roll here.
I say we like I do anything about it behind the scenes. I don't do anything. Like, I'm not on these videos. It's all Richard and Ruel. It's all their legwork.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, but it looks like we're on the front page of BGG right now. So hi, everybody. If you're watching from BGG, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the R&R Show. Yeah. Appreciate it.
And if y'all want to participate in chat, come on over to Twitch, and we have a lovely, friendly chat box. You can hang out with us. All kinds of great people here. So thank you, BGG, for hosting us again.
Thanks, BGG.
Always appreciated.
Appreciate it.
BGG is in my good books. BGG shared my rap. First rap that I wrote, the Geeks and Geeks one.
Yeah.
Nice.
They shared it on their Twitter, and so you know what, BGG, I thank you.
You're all right.
You're all right in my books. Yeah. I will continue to use you as the resource for my looking up. Because it was touch and go there for a second. Yeah. I was thinking about doing the alternative and going to the competitor, but now I'm sticking with you, BGG. It's this really solidified it. lucky you. You just earned a website viewer today.
BGG's #1.
God.
Friends, what you're watching, if you're watching this for the first time, this is the R&R Show. We do this bi-weekly. Actually, we're on a weekly schedule right now as we get back onto our bi-weekly schedule. We do a show here live on Twitch, and what we're doing is we record a different best of games list. And Richard Rahdo Ham, he joined us via the magic of video. And Ray and Chris and I, we get to hang out with you all good folks and chat, have some fun. We're going to play some Gartic Show pretty soon, which is hilarious. You got to stick around for that. And then after we do our recording of the show, which you'll see live, of course, we hang out and talk about the games that actually didn't make our list as well. And Richard's got a few up his sleeve, too, that he's going to share. So thank you if you're a first-timer, and thank you if you're a long-timer or a medium-timer or whatnot. We appreciate you hanging out here with us today, folks.
Anytime is a great time with you all.
Exactly. Even if I'm a ball of confusion, it's still always a good time, folks. Cheers. We're going to make it happen.
What episode number is this? Did you say that yet?
86.
No, did you say that earlier?
86. Wow.
Right.
Look at us go. I say as if I've been here the whole time, and I've been here for like maybe 10 episodes.
We both have been here the whole time, right? And nobody needs to know different.
Exactly.
Don't let anyone know any differently. Yeah. Omar Hernandez says, weird. My ads lasted 10 seconds. The only reason I didn't address that because I'm working and was, okay. Yeah, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you should not be seeing ads, folks.
Yeah. Just another good reason to use that Prime sub.
Yeah,
to
for free.
Not worry about Twitch's nonsense and just get our nonsense instead. Which is worse? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I hope it's Twitch's nonsense is worse.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, Twitch has been weird. I had some issues with my stream yesterday as well.
Okay.
But I want to interrupt for a second. While we're on the BGG front page, I would like to extend a personal request to Eric Martin if he's watching this. Please, I stumbled upon my absolute favorite BGG review of all time, and I want it to be somehow like memorialized on the site. I love it so much. So I was playing a game with some coworkers the other day called Hegemonia. And I was looking through the reviews of the game, and at the time, the most recent review was a 10 out of 10 on BGG, which is hard. Like, you don't like 10 out of 10. BGG users are stingy. It was a 10 out of 10, and it said, and I quote, "Played this game, got me so angry." They used another word, but I won't say it. So angry that I threw my whole table out the window, and my 2-year-old son beat me up, and I started crying. Would recommend, though, very skibbity riz. And I just, very, very skibbity riz, which, if you're unfamiliar, is like Gen Alpha slang. So I'm very confused about who this reviewer is. I love it so much. 10 out of 10, though, very skibbity riz. Funniest thing I've read all day. So my personal request is that can we flag that with like Ray's favorite comment in the history of BGG? That's all. Good. That's all I want to say. That I cried laughing for like a solid minute.
Skibbity riz, yeah, that's where it's at.
My 2-year-old son beat me up though, but very skibbity riz would recommend.
Dude, what game is this on?
This is Hegemonia. I think is how you say it. Yeah. I don't know. I played it once. Would agree, though, very skibbity riz. So.
Oh, my God. Dino Corgi says, now I am a ball of confusion. Yeah, we're all a ball of confusion right now at this point.
Absolutely killed me. Also, hi, Bonds. I love you very much. Thank you for joining the stream. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, my God. Anyways, that was it. That's all I had to say.
No, they are stingy with their 10 out of 10s, especially. One of my favorite BGG, I have quite a few. There's some really good gold mines in there. There was one account, this is actually my real favorite. There was one account that was called Not a Train Game, or like I love train games. And they went through and they just rated games like 1s or 2s, depending upon how many trains. Yeah, there weren't trains in here. And they did it for so many games. And then there was one that was like a 2. It was like, it kind of looked like a train, and I got excited, and then I realized it wasn't a train. But you get a 2 for effort.
That's
and then
so funny.
You go to like other train games, like so many trains here. 9 out of 10.
I love that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was very good.
BGG needs more like bit accounts like that. Not that we need to encourage think review skewing on
Yeah.
BGG, but that's hilarious. That's
Sure.
so funny.
That was a good one. And then I also saw a 9 out of 10 where this person gave like what I think was the most glowing review ever. They're like, really, this is vying for my best game ever. Like, I love it so much. Like, everything about this is amazing. But I don't give 10s.
Well, there you go.
It sounds like a 10.
You said it's the best game ever. Yeah.
Like, this is probably going to be my new favorite game, but I don't give 10s. I was like, wow, I am glad you are not my parents.
I don't know. I've just stopped rating games on BGG because I've had a BGG account since I was like 14 or something. And at the time, I just went through and rated every game I owned 10, even if I hated it, because I thought it was like, I just wanted it in my list because I didn't understand how to use the like owned game list. I just like, and I felt really bad if I gave anything less than that. If you ever go to my BGG user account, it's just like a bunch of random games all ranked 10. And then I was like, I don't have the time to go through and fix this.
So what you're saying is you've been rating games since you were a child, and there's a game coming from your childhood that starts with D. And so if we went on to your rating right now, your profile, we could search by the 10s, and then we search by the Ds, and we would limit down.
Incredible callback, Chris.
I'm not suggesting that chat go do this right now, but I mean, like, I can't. I've got to, talk.
Awesome.
But I don't know if somebody will be doing that, and if Ray, what is your BGG username?
Let's move on, shall we?
Seriously, I'm just
nice,
wondering.
Ray.
I know somebody in chat probably knows it. I believe
someone in chat probably does know it.
Yeah,
it's probably true. Yeah, no. I have been really good about logging my games on BGG though. That was my New Year's resolution like 2 years ago, to actually like log all the games I played.
Yeah.
Ray's getting removed from the whole email list. I'm not even allowed on the late to know list. They're not telling me anything anymore. I've been really good about that because I love when people post those grids every month of like all the games they played, and now I finally have like a good repository of all the games I've played.
Mm-hmm.
I just use BG Stats, and I think it can link up with your BGG account.
Yes, it can.
Bon says I'm really good at researching, and I already found the BGG account.
Thank you,
Bon. Cut the stream.
We gotta go to the Ds because I know Ds are close, and the 10s. Perfect. Something that the op might reprint. Who knows? We're gonna find out. We're gonna get an answer by the end of this episode.
Oh my goodness!
I love it.
Oh my goodness!
What if it's one of the, are you gonna draw? Why don't you draw the cover? Why don't you draw the cover of the new cover?
But the cover is changing. That's the whole point.
Well, that's
so no one will recognize it.
Well, and then we can keep on guessing. You can tell us when we get the guess right. Well, for the game, right? We'll need to type
No. Speaking about drawing game covers, though, are y'all ready for some? Are we ready for Gartic Phone, y'all?
Perfect
How are we feeling?
transition.
Gartic Show,
yes.
technically.
Look
at that.
Yeah, I think. Well, we probably should get it started so that we do have enough time to have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So, folks, here we are, Gartic Show. We did this last week. We're going to do it this week again because we had so much fun doing it. Ray, you want to explain the rules and what we're doing?
I'll take it away. So, welcome to Gartic Show. This is a game where we draw and you guess, and also Chris guesses. And your only goal, your only mission. Is it Parcheesi? Okay, stop guessing because eventually I'm gonna stop.
We'll get her in the main recording. Yeah, I believe. Totally. I believe in us, chat.
Parcheesi Legacy, folks. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is a game where we draw and you guess, and also Chris guesses, and your only goal is to try to beat Chris. There is a delay for everyone, including Chris, so no complaints of foul play. What's going to happen is Ruel and I are going to take turns drawing the cover of a board game. There's board games that I chose, so if you're mad about the picks, you can blame me, not Ruel. We're going to be drawing the covers of board games. We're going to have, I think it's 90 seconds to draw the cover, and you're going to guess directly in chat. Do your little tippity tap directly in chat. The first person to guess it right will be automatically recognized by the game, and you will get points from how being the one to get it right, and also how quickly you get it right. Couple of house rules. I will be using the common name for these games. So if they have a colon or some sort of extra bit that no one ever calls it. So my example is it's going to be Through the Ages, not Through the Ages, A New Story of Civilization. That's
but
it.
You can try. You should keep trying that one and give me some extra seconds.
There you go, folks.
That said, there is one on this list that, like, if it ever has punctuation or anything, right? If it's like, no thanks, exclamation point, I won't use I won't use punctuation. Just like the name of the game, the way it's most normally called. Sometimes it can be weird. Like last time I did, what was it? It was Feast for Odin,
Feast for
and
Odin,
I made the answer a Feast for Odin. If something like that happens, I apologize.
Or I think it's the reverse, but yeah.
Something like that. I'll do my best. The game will only recognize if you type it in exactly as I typed it. So spell it correctly and try to, just do the most common name of the game. The new house rule that I'm implementing is no spamming the names of games before they've started drawing. None of that. Cut that out.
I like that. That's
just for chicken? Is that just for chicken?
Specifically for chicken. No spamming games that you know I enjoy.
Yes.
You're welcome to guess as much as you want, but try to not game the system and just spam a bunch of games before our drawers have time to draw. And that's it. You get points, and you try to beat Chris, and that's it.
And I will be drawing eventually. I just couldn't find my mouse today, so I'm gonna play because also I want to win.
You've got your mouse?
No, I forgot my mouse.
I thought you said you got it.
No. I was just saying why I'm not drawing, but I'll try to draw next week.
Yeah,
because we're back next week, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, correct?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Chicken, I'm just making fun of you. I love you. You're good. But yeah, that's how to play Gartic Show. I've got a list of games, so I'm ready to rock and roll. Ruel, would you like to be first, or would you like me to be first?
I'll be first.
Nary a preference.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let me grab my list.
Okay.
I gotta get
do I have to do something on my end? Custom words, 90
up.
seconds, 15 rounds. We're good.
Yep. I will handle all of it on my end as long as you've got the game up. I would also pull up BGG just in case.
Okay.
I ever give you a game you don't know. You can look up the cover real quick.
Okay.
And just as a reminder for you and me, we are drawing the covers of these games as opposed to like symbols that could otherwise represent it, because I find that is too easy.
Yes.
So try to do the cover. Yeah. You can do it from memory, or you can look it up on BGG, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
I think memory is funnier.
I think memory is funnier too.
So I always opt for the memory, but maybe it's just because for some reason I'm tapped into Ruel's memory. I looked at the Spirit Island box. I was like, oh, the facing was in the in the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
but
would kill me, man. That one is so funny. Okay, I can't.
All right.
I'm looking for this.
Let me go ahead and let's get your first game, Ruel.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1. And then I always count it down, and then I forget that the game counts it down anyway.
It's okay. I count it down when I can see it. 3, 2, 1. Lag.
I know you know what this game looks like, Ruel.
Okay. So there's nothing there. It's okay. So there's a box. There's a little bit of a curve on the box.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Foglight. Welcome on in. Thanks for joining us.
Oh no.
This is actually so good, Ruel. You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
No.
Someone got it?
Corthane! Good job.
Oh, well done.
Sushi go.
Really, really well done. I was just typing it.
I almost went to BGG. Is this how the box looks? Do they have like the little...
yeah. It's got the grid and it's got little sushis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Thanks. I knew what you were going for.
Beautiful attention to detail with the curved tin.
Yeah,
well.
Thank
totally
you.
intentional.
I always appreciate a good curved tin from Game Right Studios. Thank you, Game Right. Okay. So now, so we continue. Is this
my turn?
Your turn.
Yep,
okay.
I'll handle it. I got you.
Thanks.
All right. Ready,
Corthane's
chat?
on the board, 62 points.
Good job.
We're all falling behind, chat. Let's go. Let's get it together. 3, 2, 1. Lag.
This is raise.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so it's a box. Oh, and here's a little hint for chat. Ray always draws the box like outline the way that it the color, the main color of it, I think.
Yes, I try.
Oh,
I'll also say,
oh my gosh.
Woo! You didn't let me finish my crab.
Well done.
Good job,
I like the
Barefoot Bug.
fish.
Let's go.
I like the. Was that a fish on the left side?
Yeah, it was gonna be
I like
a
the
fish.
fish,
And then
yeah.
that guy up there was gonna be a little crab going like this. But I actually don't know. I don't know the order of the animals on the box, but it's a bunch of sea creatures. I know that much.
There's
I saw
no
fish.
name that strikes fear into me in this game as much as Barefoot Bug. And
she
now that
will get you.
Now that they're around at the beginning of the game, I don't know what's gonna happen. Ruel,
right,
we must mind meld.
All right, time to mind meld, Chris. Oh,
here you go, friend.
I need to get on the board. I just need to get on
Barefoot
the
Bug
board.
hones into my drawings like nobody else.
One leg.
Whoops.
Okay, here we go.
And then,
Okay, we got a
oh
box.
shoot! I don't remember what this.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't know if I'm doing this right.
That's what it is.
I got
Just
the
the box.
box.
Twilight Imperium.
Well, it's the coffin box.
This
Um,
may not.
oh!
I'm gonna be so real with you. Oh no, that's right. That's right.
Did I get it?
No.
Oh,
No
I
one's
really
got it
thought
yet.
that was it. I thought that was it.
This is so
Oh,
terrible.
come on.
This is so bad.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, no.
This is key. This is key. This is
no.
what you need. I don't know why he's green,
I know,
but
me
it
neither.
might give people the wrong impression. Oh my god.
No, that
Yep.
doesn't look right. This doesn't look
That
right.
it looks.
What?
I'm not going to say whether or not it looks right or wrong.
Oh, oh, this is.
There. Yes, there you go, Ruel. That's what you need. That's what you need.
Come on.
There you go. There you go. Well,
It's not coming out the way I wanted it to come out.
get in there. Let's go. Well done. Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think the
That's a good
giant
one.
snapping turtle that Ruel drew was supposed to be the bear
was
on
supposed to be
the
a
cover
bear.
of Parks.
Yeah.
See, I've only played Parks once.
Yeah.
I haven't played Aqua. I got my excuses out. That was a good get. Who got
The
that?
Gameritis
Game
guy.
Raiders
Well
guy.
done.
Game
Yeah, I
Raiders
remember
guy.
the
Great.
tree on the cover, but then I was like, what else is on that cover?
Yeah.
And then I saw the bear in the waterfall, and my bear was awful.
I thought that was the volcano, and I thought Fireball Island.
Fireball
Oh.
Island was a good guess.
Because it was a
I
longer
do-
box too. Oh, I thought
I want
had
to
it.
call out that John said, I clearly don't remember what Parks looks like at all. No, John, I think Ruel doesn't remember what Parks looks like. I think
had
you're
no
fine.
idea.
Also, Gigi's live. Welcome on into chat. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the R&R Show, the pre-show where we draw games and you guess them.
Yeah, it's
All
the
right.
best
This
time.
is so fun.
And then I just started guessing. I guess steaming turtle.
You
That was
did.
fine.
You sure did.
That might be.
I'm
what
giving
we were talking
myself a hard one.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
Good.
for funsies. Well, it's either hard or easy. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Ready?
My
Let's do
fingers are on ASDFJKL Sam. They're ready to go. Okay. It's gonna happen anytime. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, this is tough.
Leg.
It has an iconic cover. Whether or not I will do
All right.
it justice.
All right.
I had to look this one up, folks, because I didn't remember. And yeah, good luck.
Okay, so it's a box.
Well, hold on. Yeah. No. It's like this.
What is this? Okay, no, that's gone. All right.
I wonder if this is.
No, it's not. I'm not getting the shape.
If you gave this one to me, I would be crying right now. This is not easy.
Oh, what is that one? I don't even know if I'm on the right track. And quickly, Ray, while you're doing this, what is the game that the op is releasing?
Nice, Chris.
But then it's like.
I feel like Chris,
I
you're
don't-
gonna get a good shot at this, Chris. I feel like.
Oh no, I've no idea.
No. Oh.
I've never seen this
That's
game.
the
in my
best
life.
I got.
I don't
Nice,
think
Ray.
it exists.
Go from there, chat.
I think that is
Um,
excellent.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a good guess, Daryl.
What did Daryl say? A golem.
Daryl said
yeah,
golem.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
I don't
That's
know.
a
I don't
great
know if this
guess.
helps.
Yeah.
I can't.
Meg-
I
Meg-
can fill. I can go.
Oh, I have no.
How about that?
Oh. No one
It's
guessed.
Seventh Continent.
That is
It's
so
got that
hard.
like black box and like the yellow gold.
Oh, Coma put Seventh Citadel.
Oh,
Citadel. That
Seventh
was so close. Yeah,
Seventh
that's actually really well done.
Yep.
Thank
That
you.
is really well done.
That is a tough one to do. Yeah, well done, Ray.
Oh
No,
man.
I blocked Seventh Continent from my mind after the 19 hours that I spent on that first quest, and I just like
I never played it. I just know
traumatized.
that cover.
don't do
That
it.
like matte black cover with the
No, that
shiny
was
gold
awesome.
like skull
Yep.
That was
thing.
really well done. That's on us. That is really on us. That is like the best attempt that anyone could make with the prompt Seventh Continent. I'm being 100% for real right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think honorary win goes to Coma 25 Seventh Citadel. Like
Yeah,
that was close.
That was a good
and
guess.
even that was in the chat. I saw it and I was like, oh
is
yeah,
this mine?
right.
Yep, this is you, Ruel.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
Thanks. Okay, there's that.
Okay.
Oh man,
So
I forgot what it looks like.
A box.
Let me do this. And then we do,
Sure.
okay. Is it like this?
Oh, not a bad guess, Chris, actually.
Well, just like the shape and like the
Yeah.
potential.
The
And,
cutout,
like,
yeah.
If there is a
The
cutout.
potential.
Is this? I don't remember if this. I'm not
I see
looking at
potential in
BGG,
this box.
obviously. I
Oh,
think
no.
these are on here like this. We're gonna see.
I mean, we had Terra Mystica last time.
It's not Terra Mystica. There's no repeats.
Okay, now I'm just messing things up.
Oh.
This is guessable. This is guessable.
Hey,
there we go, Daryl.
Daryl
Nice.
Oh, dang it! Nice.
Now I gotta look at BGG.
Marvel Splendor is actually not a bad guess, Sir Bearsworth. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm looking at the Sagrada box now. I was.
I mean, sorry, Sir Bearsworth, but I guessed that one before. I would have
Oh
taken credit.
no! I'm gonna cry. The game I want to do is too long. There's too many characters.
Oh.
Okay, so take out the last word, and we'll know that it's a long game title.
Does that fit?
That fits.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever it is, you have to write what it is without the last word.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Let's
do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
And now we know, that there's a hint.
Oh.
There's a hint that it's a long game. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Next round we have to spell it backwards, Sir Bearsworth says. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. Eggplant emoji the game.
So I know the word, folks, but so I'm not guessing, but Ray's doing an outstanding job with this one. This is so good.
I thought I had it with Isla and something shiny, but I just put Isla and something. What is this? This is very good. Oh, okay.
Oh, that made it worse. That made it way worse. That made it way worse.
Grumpy.
Please, you can get this. Chad, come on. Give me something here, Chad. This is so good. We did one of
more last time.
I know there are people in chat that have played this game too.
How are you not getting this, chat? This is so not my fault. I take zero responsibility for this. This is Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah.
That's what the box looks like. It's got the devil guy. I don't know what he is, but there's a little guy.
With the horns.
Oh, I guess I should have made the ring bigger. I should have made the ring a lot bigger. His little nose rig thing.
But the horns are there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'd like to say that your Seventh Continent was better. My guess was, I don't know if you saw, but my guess was Santa Claus Hates You.
Well, that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Or Krampus Ate Your Dinner. Either of those games, I thought were.
It looked a little. I had a hard time getting the horns to look like horns. They did kind of look like ears. Listen.
I thought that was excellent, Ray.
Did my absolute best.
But Dino, that we're it's harder. It's harder if you just do the covers, right? You can easily sort of sound it out. Like you could do love letter. It's harder to draw the princess than just drawing like a heart.
Yeah, the rule is you have to do the cover.
Yeah, we're doing the covers, folks, in this version of the game. That's our house rule.
All right, Ruel, you ready?
I'm good to go.
All right. Okay. Come on, Chris. Get on the board here. I'm so stressed. I've never been more stressed in my life. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. So
nailing it, killing it.
How do I do that?
So it's a box.
Thing? Is it this one?
Yeah, there's the little perfect. Okay. Minecraft.
It's a good guess. It's a really good guess. What are you? Come on.
That's so good. That's all you should need. You nailed it. Come on, Chris. Come on. Oh, last will. I will appreciate the last will guess. But it was Furnace.
I got there second. But
Chris, what happened to our mind meld, man?
Honestly, everything I've known and loved in this world must be broken.
It really is.
This is the worst day. You know what it is?
I'm sorry. Can we get a scoreboard update from Chris? Can you please read us the current standing? I feel like it would be best coming from you.
All right, so we have Gameridus guy is now soared into the lead, I think, with 67 points. Barefoot Bug 63, Corthane 62, Daryl with 1R 35, and Room and Board is 0 right now.
Womp womp.
Room and Board needs to start cheating and looking at and getting the extra time advantage.
Okay, here's Ray's next one.
Okay, here we go. Redemption. 3, 2, 1. Lag. Okay.
I don't know what's on this box. I need to look this one up.
It's a box. Furnace was a good one. Oh, dang it. That was the closest I was. I've never played a board game in my life. That's my excuse. What is this? I need to ignore chat's guesses. I just need to focus in on the mind of Ray.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, let's go,
Chicken got
it. Chris, what's going on? That's a cat in a box, man.
Perfect.
Get started in the game. Literally, what's going on with you today? What is happening?
I was right behind
unacceptable.
Chicken. I was right behind Chicken. I was right behind Chicken. Come on. Look at the chat. Look at the chat messages.
Chris, look at me. The gimmick of this segment is that chat's trying to beat you. You have to be on the board.
Oh my god!
You have to try.
This is the worst day of my entire life. I'll tell you. I've never had a more horrible day.
They have to have something to beat in order to beat you. You have to give them something, Chris.
Yeah, Gameridus sniped me. Chicken sniped me. Well, at least I'm in the ballpark now. The first ones I didn't even know.
Yeah. Okay. This one, how about this one, Chris? Let's go. Let's go.
Sir Bearsman says, I think technically I'm beating Chris, and I haven't gotten a point yet. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
All right. Ruel, you ready?
I'm ready.
Chicken says, I know 11 board games now. Get out of here. I'm so mad. I'm so mad it was you. It was you.
You personally.
Why did it have to be you? 3, 2, 1. Barefoot, I can understand. Barefoot, I'm unmatched. Barefoot's unparalleled. There's no chance.
Nice.
Okay. It's a box.
Okay, this one I don't. Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, no, you nailed it. Morals. All right, for reference, Ruel, people think you're drawing mushrooms currently.
Oh no! Well then, we're way
that's
off.
fine. That's fine if they do.
Everyone thinks it's morals. That's hilarious.
Oh God. What is this?
You're doing a great. You're doing a great job,
okay,
Ruel.
Yeah,
this is pretty good.
I sort of remember the cover. I should go to BGG, but I'm not gonna.
You've got the right vibe. You got to add a little more spice.
Just to make sure.
Chat's got good guesses.
Yes, just so y'all know what this is for sure.
Yeah. Well, no, I knew that.
Okay.
Give it a little.
What else is on there? I don't remember.
Maybe
no.
some more. I don't want to say anything.
Okay, I gotta go to BGG because I
don't know.
what else is? Oh, okay.
You got like 2 seconds. You got 2 seconds.
Oh, well, then it's too late. Oh, I forgot about that. Darn it.
Oh.
Ah,
It was gonna be Canvas. It's got
Canvas.
the girl looking out on
that
like
was
the
good.
field.
Yeah, I think just
You
doing
had like the
multiple
right
colors would've been good.
proportions.
Yeah, the proportions.
That's what I was
were
gonna
great.
say. Was just like add more color, just
Yeah.
like
the sunset,
colorful
right?
scribbles.
yeah.
I think would have given it to people.
And you know what's funny? I totally didn't even put two and two together. The girl in the box cover is carrying a canvas, to paint. She actually has like a little
didn't
paint
know
thing. And it's like,
that.
oh, I could have totally done that, but we didn't.
Also, welcome in Zumpack. Thank you for joining us. Welcome on in. Don't worry,
Chris.
you still have time to get enough points to beat Chris, so feel free to jump on in and chat.
This
And
is just
even though
the
you're
worst
brand new
day.
to the channel and to this game, you can still beat Chris.
Honestly, get out of here. Leave with your dignity. Some of us don't have that option.
All right.
Okay, back to Ray, folks.
I'm giving myself another hard one.
No.
But it's a game. It's a game you should know. Just drawing it will be a fun challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 3.
But it has an iconic.
1.
Has an iconic cover
Go.
Yes.
All right.
in its own special way.
Okay. An iconic cover in its own special way.
Oh, you're nailing it, Ray. Yeah, you're nailing it.
So it's a box.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's good.
Oh no, Tyler's dad! Did you beat me to it? No. Okay, no, it had to be that. Okay, it's not that. Okay, great.
This is so good.
What's that?
Come on, Chris.
Oh God, I don't. These faces are throwing me off. Oh my God, I've never heard of this game before.
Yes, you have, Chris.
No, I must not have.
Yes.
Tyler's
You got it.
dad.
Let's go, Tyler's dad.
Nice.
Oh no, that was a really good one.
That was perfect,
That was really
Ray.
good.
I feel like once I did the sections and the faces and no one got it, I was like, that's all I had.
Yeah.
All I had was the slices and the faces. Once you guys
That was
lost that, I was
good.
trying to draw like snowflakes.
That's what I was wondering
that
what
was
you were
really
doing.
good.
The snowflakes. Yeah,
no, the snowflakes for sure.
perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I was
was really
still-
hoping the sections and the faces would get it, and then when
Yeah.
it didn't, I was like, crap.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to
Kill
give you. Well done, you guys. Good job, Tyler's dad. I'm very, very impressed.
Very nice.
I'm looking at Dead of Winter on my shelf and still failed. To be fair, that cover's very gray. Like,
Right.
unless you've looked at it recently, I excuse you not knowing it.
Yeah.
Because it's all kind of, when you look at it closely, I think it's very iconic because it has like these cutaways for all the different characters, and I think that's really cool. But like, if you haven't played it recently, it kind of just sticks in my head as like gray.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do an easy one.
Okay.
All right,
I need
Chris,
it. I need it. I
you
desperately
need this. I'm adding a new one to my list just for you.
Nice.
Oh no!
Because you
Please
need
don't say
help.
that. Don't say that. Because then when I don't get it, I'm like,
That's good.
Iconic cover.
oh, it's gonna be so much worse. This is gonna be so much worse. At least I could be like, oh yeah, Aqua. Like I haven't played it yet. You know, like at least I was close to the top hat. Okay, shut up.
Oh, am I
3, 2,
drawing this one, Ray?
Like here we go.
Oh yeah, this is you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. I get distracted.
It's been a
by
while
chat.
since I played this, so I'm not sure when it's on the cover, but I'm going to do this anyways.
Oh, perfect. That's what I need. I need a Ruel cover that isn't a real cover. That's the only chance I've got.
Is this how?
Yeah. Well.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh no, I don't.
My head
need-
just
I
slipped
don't
off the
need it.
mouse.
Yeah. Yeah. You're killing it. You're killing it.
Okay.
Got some good guesses.
I don't know what this
Come on,
could
Chris.
be. Oh no!
Come on, Chris. Oh,
Oh no!
I feel like Gamer Eyes Guy is in my
Well done.
head.
Well done.
Well done, friend.
It was Red Rising.
I don't think that's a real game.
All right. Okay. Cool.
I'm-
Cool.
Oh, there's
I'm
more
pretty
than
sure-
one person. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, and it has like that fox thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
The color, big stripes of color, I think are really
Okay.
really
Yeah,
iconic
I
for
was,
that one.
Yeah,
You
I was
did a
pretty
very
far
good
off
job.
of
If that
one,
if
but
that
okay.
was a real game,
Okay.
If that was a real game, then
We're gonna go even easier, Chris.
God. Stop it. Stop saying this. Stop prefacing it with that. This is awful. Oh, why did I lose my mouse?
Okay, Chris.
Why did I lose my mouse? Okay, 3,
You better
2,
get this one.
1. Okay. Come on. This is not going
This
well.
is so good.
Come on.
Oh my God! There you go! There you go, Chris!
Did I get it?
You did
Did I get it?
Yay!
Nice.
Yellow
box, baby. Yellow box. There are rarely any yellow boxes in board gaming. It makes color coordinating so hard. Oh, the yellow box. Oh, it was a Hail Mary. Oh, it's a Hail
Chris
Mary.
is on board. Can we get some GGs in chat for Chris?
You deserve it, folks.
Honestly, I will accept your pity. I will happily accept your pity.
All right, we got 2 more. We got 2 more.
You guys, honestly, no. Now it's too nice. Now it's too much.
There's the GG.
Now it feels too much. Now I feel like I'm the kid who's been tripping over the football every time, and the parents are like, "No,
trophy.
You're here playing too." but think about how many points I got because I got it so quick, right? Look at that 76.
You got a lot of points,
right? So take that. How quickly the turn goes from just gracious to obnoxious. That's my.
Ruel, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Reminder: it's the cover of the game.
Okay.
Remind me.
Okay, I'm feeling good now. I think I can come back.
Oh, cover the game. Oh, I'm glad you gave me that.
2, 1.
Okay.
Go.
Because you would have done something else.
I would have done something totally different. Okay.
So it's a box.
Just kidding. It's not a box. Get that out of there.
Well, I think it is. Okay. Okay.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
This.
Yeah, Chicken's making some good guesses in the comments. I'm scared. I don't see anything on the box yet.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Okay, two eyes.
I don't know why you went out of your way to make the eyebrows blue. I'm going to be honest.
Wow. Just staring.
Huh?
This is so bad.
Oh no.
Chat, you're going to lose it when you find out what this is.
Y'all are you're going to
lose it.
Okay,
you're turning it around.
Okay, thank you.
Well, because Chicken, yeah, stop distracting me. I gotta focus.
I don't remember. Okay.
You're doing. This is good. This is good.
Okay.
What is this? Who are you? Who are you?
Who is this woman? This mystery woman of my dreams. More like my sleep paralysis demon. The way she's turning out right now.
Oh.
All right, quick chat. Name every cover that's got a woman on it. Name a woman for $1. You got it.
I was going to say the sound of it. Did I get it? Oh!
Yeah, there's love letters.
There you go,
Chris.
Yes.
Oh!
Right.
Oh, I only guessed it because I'd spoken about it earlier in the stream. That's the only reason. I was
she's
like,
got
maybe
like a fan, and she's like, she's in a big red dress.
Okay.
I was like, what other box has a woman on the cover? Literally, then Tyler's dad said The Sound of Music, and I was like, yeah, definitely looks like Maria in the Field. Like I was about to guess. I was like, I didn't know if there was a Sound of Music board game.
It looks like Maria in the Field.
Oh my gosh.
Does it, Chris?
Oh yeah, the hills are alive, baby.
Okay.
All right, final one. Final one.
Oh no, let's call it here because I think I've gotten points now. Oh, it's only.
What do I want to do?
Oh no, that's probably not good.
What do I want to do? I'll take my dollar through PayPal. All right. Chris, do you want to do an easy or a hard one?
Hard. Make it hard.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got this.
Because then I have an excuse.
Then you have an excuse.
An easy one, they feel worse. They feel so much worse.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Oops. I got a little skinny there. Ignore that.
Y'all better be glad you got Ray for this one. There was no way I could do this.
So it's a box.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what you're getting. That's.
Oh. Oh, I feel like oh God.
Someone's gonna get it. I kind of want to leave it on this. I feel like someone can get it with this.
That's not it. It's just a completely black box, but I just had to guess it.
It's not Project L, chat. Yes! Dino
Dino
Corgi!
Corgi!
Well done!
Nice, right?
Well done, well done. It's Mind Management. It's got a girl and then half her face is a gun.
Yeah.
That's one you either know or you don't know.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
So that's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it or not.
That was
I would
great,
not
right?
give, imagine if I just gave Project L. As if I would not do that. That's just going to be who has the least lag. Just a blue L.
Just a blue L. Well, I had to write it not because I actually thought it was a guess, but you know when you're thinking about something and you just got to get it out of your mind.
Yeah,
that's why I wrote it. Because my mind was like it's Project L.
You just have to confirm to your brain that it's not Project L.
Yeah,
yeah. This is like the Mandela effect. Did you not know that the cover of Project L is not just a blue L, but there's actually a girl creeping around the corner? Like, how did none of you remember that?
Does nobody know that?
All right. Oh, just kidding. There's one more.
Oh, is there one more?
My bad.
Okay.
I miscounted. All right. One more fast one.
Let's do it. Okay, come on, baby. We got this. I mean, hopefully not we. Hopefully it's me. Just
Ruel, do you want to take this one?
Sure.
This last one?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Chris. Here's your chance.
Okay. God, the pressure is too much. I'm gonna crack. I'm gonna get off this stream. I'm just gonna curl up in a ball for an hour. 3, 2, 1.
Oh wait.
Leg. Okay, here we go. All right.
I was struggling to remember how to shorten management. That's fair.
Okay, so it's a box.
I love you adopting the box color strategy, Ruel. Love to see it. Look at that.
Well, I learned
it's
from you
looking
from
good.
With the
it's looking good.
Thing. I think this.
You're doing great.
Oh,
Thanks.
oh no.
You got this. You're killing it. It's not Sail. I've never heard of that game.
It's all play.
Oh, it's all. I actually do know what you're talking about. It's like the trick taking island hopping one.
Come on, I've seen.
You've seen this. You know this game.
Yeah, you know this one, Chris.
It's not Blue Lagoon. Just kidding. You don't know this game.
I'm just kidding. Oh, I know. Oh no. Oh, this is. Oh yeah, Boaty Boat Game. That's a good one too. Stop being so funny. Chat.
Some people are close. Some people are.
Someone got it. There
we go.
Gamer House guy.
Sea salt and paper.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, Tyler's dad almost got it. Sea salt and land.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's a combination of air, land, and sea, and sea salt and paper.
Why was I not looking at the chat? Salt, island, and sea. Yeah. Muse got. I should have been looking at the one time I don't look at chat. Oh, that was good.
All right, chat. Final score. Chris, would you do us the honors of reading out the final score?
Well, I'm glad I think I placed because I got a good 76. So where is it coming in? Gamer in the Sky 134, Room and Board 82, 81, Barefoot 63, Corthane 62, Chicken Free Cage 52, Dino Corgi 44, Daryl with 1R 35, and Tyler's dad 34.
Well done. GG's to our
podium
finishers.
It's that furnace. That furnace was the turning point.
Good. That was good.
That was the swing.
Really good. Yeah.
Getting in right before. Oh,
thank you, everyone, for playing Gartic Show with us.
I'm so sorry, Chris. Do you still? Are we still friends?
So close.
Oh, we're better friends. We're better friends now. God, that was so stressful.
To be fair, I give you some mean ones. The first time we did this, I did a lot of softballs because I wanted you guys to like it.
Yeah.
I had to branch out a little bit for this one. Like Seventh Continent's a little tricky.
Seventh Continent was awesome. Like everyone should have gotten Seventh Continent.
Every single person.
It was so good. It was the best drawing that happened this round for sure.
Thank you. Yeah. Chicken says Chris needs to be the only drawer next time to torture all of us. Chris, you gotta find your mouse for next stream.
Right,
you gotta.
I'll find it. I know where it is. I mean, it's just in a different drawer package somewhere, a case that I don't have up here.
That'll be great.
I just think it's gonna be so less stressful when I'm drawing.
It's so much better.
Abysmal at drawing.
Well, it's frustrating when you're like you can picture it, but you like can't like
Yeah.
Or when you do something brilliant like the slices and the faces and nobody gets it, and you're like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, when you are the brilliant one and
when
chat
you're
are
the
just a
genius and
bunch
no
of
one
dumb
understands.
idiot babies is what you're saying.
Idiot babies.
The
It's stressful in a different way, I'll give you that.
Totally.
Well, thank you, Chad, for indulging me, and
really
Chris and
good.
Ruel for letting
That was
me
really
bring
good
this to the channel.
Yeah, we love this.
I think it's a lot of fun. Thank you for
happened
playing
to
with
the
us.
R&R show.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It's the best thing that's ever happened to the R&R show.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I just like to mess around and do bad drawings. So thanks for letting me.
Yeah. Okay. So, folks, what we're going to do now is move right on ahead to the main portion of our show. So that means I go to this scene here. Oh, wait. We do the, what is it called? We do the Battle Royale.
Battle Royale?
Let's
Battle Royale.
Y'all
While
get to
we're
battles?
battling and royaling.
Yes.
Roll. Do you mind if I step away for one quick
Yeah,
second?
go right ahead. Do your thing. Chris, if
are you
step
going
away.
to get the box of the ops game to show us all?
Oh,
on
maybe
the,
that's what she's
on the
getting.
stream.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
So-
no problem then. We'll look forward to seeing it. You can't hear.
So y'all are going to battle here.
Better.
You'll be regenerated after the battle, and someone's going to win some points and to level up their character and do all the fun things. We've got a nice little crew here. I see Corthane, Bing, and so forth. So good luck, everybody.
John Tripp, I need to. Yeah, GG stands for Gamer This Guy. That just really rubs salt in the wound. It was foretold. It was foretold. My joy was short-lived.
Yeah, he crushed it today. But you had a nice little comeback, Chris, at the very end there.
Hey,
a couple
Splendor
of
was good.
Yeah.
I got Splendor, and I can hold my head high. That I was the quickest.
Yeah, that was definitely the quickest
yellow
of all the
and only know one yellow game. If there was anything else, I was tapped out.
Yeah. All right, who do we got left here? In the Battle Royale, Goblin and Zedarek. Goblin
let's
is
go.
punching. Zedarek, oh, now that he's right away. Goblin's
There's a
headed
little
towards...
med
Oh,
pack.
they're heading both towards a health pack?
No. There we go.
Zedarek.
Done. Game over. Sorry, Goblin. You're going to get got.
Uh-oh.
There's just too much health.
That's right.
There's too much health.
Zedarek
were not in
is
your
the
favor.
champion. Congrats, GG. Well done, Zedarek. Enjoy the points. Spend those wisely, friend. And I'm going to get us set up for the show here. By going over here. Get rid of that stuff. And then punch this thing up. We're doing our top 12 engine building games today, folks. And
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about how everybody made their list too, but we'll talk about that when we get into the show.
Yeah, I feel like we talked a little bit off camera about how we'll save it for the show.
Yeah, we'll save it for the show.
Yeah.
We'll save it.
We'll save it.
We'll tantalize all of you just a little bit more. Oh, I'm still coming down. I'm really still coming down from that. I've got to be honest. I think it was Barefoot who said we've got to measure Chris's blood pressure during the game. Oh, whatever. I don't know what a good blood pressure is, but I can guarantee you my doctor will be having some words with Ray and Ruel. Okay, that's what I can guarantee you.
Your doctor's gonna recommend a no more Gartic show for the time being.
Goblin says winning isn't something I do. Apparently, me neither. Goblin, join the club.
Oh my goodness. So folks, if you don't know, we normally do show on Tuesdays, but we've had some scheduling things lately. But we're getting back on schedule next week, so it'll be next Tuesday, right, Chris?
Yep, next Tuesday, and who knows what we're gonna do, but it'll be something fun. And I will get my mouse and I will draw for everyone, and I will be the sole drawer, and I will be the sole clue giver as well, and we can make Ruel and Ray sweat and feel the pain and feel the suffering and death and desolation. And they will feel our collective
Why is Chris making that face? What's
happening? This is my resting face. My resting face.
It's your resting pirate face?
Yeah, it's my resting evil spirit face.
All right, thank you. I just need to grab some water. I'm good.
No problem.
Good
Me
to
too.
go.
Let's get it going, because I know Richard's got some stuff to say to start us off. and then we'll jump into.
I guess I could have gone during that. Can I
jump into our list? No,
okay.
It's fine.
All right, folks, so here we go. What you can be seeing is we're recording our top 12 engine building games today, and we're doing this for YouTube, so we will take a moment to just focus on the show itself, and then afterwards we'll hang out with you all again for a few minutes and let you know what didn't make the list. But if anyone raised, just let them know what we're up to, and we'll chat with you all soon. So, Chris and Ray, are we good to go?
Let's
Good
do
to
it.
go.
Okay,
Let's
here we
talk
go.
about some
So,
engine building games.
Richard will start off with the intro. It's going to be a few minutes, talk about our sponsor and whatnot, and then we'll come to this scene and do our list. And just to make sure, number 12, yeah, Chris will lead us off, then me, then Ray, then Richard. Okay, here we go. Take it away, Richard.
Hey everybody, this episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by Floodgate Games and their new expansion, Decorum, Moving Out. And I gotta say, folks, my wife Jen and I were huge fans of the original Decorum. We played it quite a bit, more than a lot of co-op games that show up at our door. And I've actually heard from a lot of people who don't like co-op games that somehow Decorum worked really well for them. And I totally understand why. If you didn't see my original run-through, at its heart, this is a game where each player has their own secret preferences for how they would like their house decorated. And on their turn, they can swap things from one place to another, or they can replace things in the house with different things. And at the end of every player's turn, even they could repaint the walls if they want. At the end of their turn, because they're trying to make the house just the way they want it, their teammates can say, oh, I hate that, or I love it. And that's what you get to go on to try and figure out what their objectives are. And it's really, really clever. Every once in a while, you get to have a heart-to-heart moment where you can give some of the information about what you're trying to achieve. And it's just absolutely brilliant. A wonderful, wonderful limited communication game. But what does the Moving Out expansion add? Oh my gosh, folks. Well, first of all, 20 new scenarios come in this box. And I should say, all of them are for 2 players only. The original Decorum had rules for 3 and 4 players, but at its heart, it was best as a 2-player game. And this expansion is very much a 2-player expansion. But not only does it add a bunch of new scenarios, which you would expect, it adds vehicles. Because, folks, we're moving out. And now we have objectives related to the vehicles. And these are just a couple. Our smart car and our old clunker. It comes with a bunch of vehicles that I could show you. I literally don't want to spoil them because they're so cool and there's so much cleverness and variety to them. So if you get it, you can learn more. But there's a bunch of really neat alternate vehicles that have special rules and whatnot. So now we might have objectives of, hey, by the end of the game, I want to have all of my antiques, out in the old clunker, and these are wild spaces that can take anything. But somebody else might say, you know what? I want all the vintage stuff in the smart car, or all the green stuff in the smart car. But that's not all. Some missions might say, and you know what? I want to drive the smart car and you drive the clunker. Things aren't really set up and you got to figure out that sort of thing. But there's more. Some missions might say, you know what? I need to make sure that all yellow objects are boxed up properly, which become like extra storage spaces that go in the cars. But then other objectives show up in the game too. Like, you know what? All the red items have got to be in this cool new plastic bubble wrap. We got to get all of these things bubble wrapped. So you might see me put something in bubble wrap, and you might have a thing where, no, none of the red things need to be in bubble wrap, and I just put that in there because I have to have vintage things in bubble wrap. So you say you hate it. Do you hate it because of the color? Do you hate it because no bubble wrap stuff should be in the living room? And then maybe you move it into the car. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Oh, and then I start to figure out, through process of elimination, you must not want bubble wrap in the living room. That's a secret objective you have. And if I can figure that out, you don't have to waste one of your precious heart-to-heart moments explaining it to me. This is the core of Decorum. It's such a clever game, and this new expansion adds so much new fun stuff with vehicles to load up, with boxes, with bubble wrap, with a bunch of new missions. Actually, one thing that does change, in the original game, there was this whole sideboard where we could bring new items into the house or swap items out. That has been removed because we've added all this complexity of the vehicles. So one thing I actually like more about this new version is everything that starts in the house or in the vehicles is all you'll mess with. So it really means you can focus more, but at the same time, things get more complicated with who's going to drive what vehicle. We can even hire movers who help us, and which movers are working with which vehicle as well. There's so much more to the game. Decorum is going to have so much more life. And by the way, in case folks didn't know, the Decorum webpage is up and running too, with daily scenarios that add more stuff. And I'm going to assume eventually we'll be having some moving out objectives showing up on the Decorum webpage as well. Very impressive. Takes a already great limited communication co-op and brings it to the next level. I'm really impressed by Decorum Moving Out, an expansion of passive-aggressive cohabitation. And now, let's get on with the show.
And here we are, folks, episode 86 of the R&R Show. I'm Ruel, this is Chris and Ray, and thank you, Richard, for the intro. That game looks phenomenal. I love the base game of Decorum, the limited communication, and now with the Moving Out expansion. That looks really cool, and what a way to add stuff, not only thematically, but mechanically, right, with the car. And I love the little bubble wrap. That just really...
Yeah, it's really
that
cute.
Tickled me, yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. I love Decorum. I think I caught Richard saying something about like how this is a game that even for folks who don't like co-ops, this is a co-op they can get behind. That's me. He's talking about me. I notoriously hate co-ops, but I love it when there's a fun, especially when there's like a language barrier or some sort of communication barrier. And this is like the prototypical, like when I talk about co-op games I enjoy, Decorum is one of the first ones I mentioned because it really does something different that couldn't really be done competitively. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's one of my favorite games, and this expansion looks really fantastic. So I'm excited for it.
Nice.
Yeah, it gets me excited. Like I haven't played Decorum yet. So I know you two have played the base game, but I love limited communication, and it just feels like it's my jam. And I feel like the one thing that I heard about Decorum is that some people who are like really gamery, are like, oh, it feels a bit like you get used to it and it feels simple, and it feels like this is an expansion that's like for those people who just like really up level like the amount of decisions that you can get. I don't know, I've never played it, but I
totally,
that's what I thought I had heard, and it seems that gets me really excited. Like it's something that I actually want to try. I remember like I put Hanabi on like a great 2-player list when we were doing it 2 players, and this feels like it would scratch a very similar itch. So it's something that you could see my face when we came back. I was like,
you're into
more.
You should play it, Chris. If you like limited
I love
communication. It's great. I almost put it on my 2-player list, but I hadn't played it at higher player count. So I was like, I don't know like how different it is. Oh boy, I played it at 3 players for the first time recently. Oh, it's so chaotic. Oh my God.
It is. And,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's why I played it at 3, 4, and 2. And I actually like the 2-player experience the best, I think.
I agree.
Because it can get chaotic with more players. And it feels like it extends the game a little bit. But with this new expansion, it really, it's going to give you a lot, especially for that 2-player experience. So, definitely
absolutely.
Very exciting.
All right.
Yeah.
So
what a great way to start off the day.
Yeah, this is a great way to start off the day, hanging out with you two and Richard via video. Folks, we've got our top 12 engine building games, and I'm really excited about this list because engine building is one of my favorite mechanisms, and I know y'all have some great choices, so why don't we just kick things off? Chris, let's lead the way with number 12, please.
Yeah. First, I do want to establish how we all made our list.
Yes.
We mentioned this right a little bit before in the pre-show. We said we're talking about it now, so I do want to talk about it now. For me, my criteria was because there's a lot of different like engine building. I find it so strange on BGG. There isn't even a category.
No, I looked for that as well because it could just be anything.
Could be so much, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I tried to think of like classic engine builders. And I try to think about sort of a definition as you have a set idea of actions or things that you can do that become either optimized or more diverse and more delicious as the game
Mm.
progresses. That's kind of what I did for
Nice.
my list. Try to keep it in that range.
Yeah.
No, I think that's pretty on par with what I did as well. For me, like the big thing for defining engine builders, because I had, that's funny you brought up the BGG thing. I had the same moment where I was like thinking, and I oftentimes like to, like when we did food games, right? I like, people will make BGG lists around themes that we often end up using on the show. So I'll just like get my mind thinking about stuff I maybe would have forgotten about, right? Sure. So I went to look up engine builders on BGG, and you're right, it's not a tag, because I think it would just get genuinely too messy, because it is like, when you boil it down to like, you get a thing and then that thing helps you later in the game and you keep using it. Like that sounds like every board game ever. But for me, it's about like God, it's so hard to describe, but you're like using this, you're like, it builds upon itself. It's something that you use every round or during a certain action that constantly increases and like produces more like production-based mechanics, or something where what you do early on, that card kind of defines the rest of your game, because you're going to build upon that. It's really hard to define. And I think we came up with a list of games that I would absolutely classify as engine builders, but God, I regret even opening my mouth, because in my head I was like, I'm going to explain what I was thinking. And then as I'm explaining, I'm like, that makes no sense.
No,
but I think you'll see.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
I think you'll see in our list the commonality between the games, and you can kind of distill that mechanic from there.
Yeah, and I think you hit it on the nail on the head there, or Ray. The whole there's no category in BGG, because it is like super like nebulous. It's like, oh, is this really an engine builder? Well, this is, but this may be. It's one of those mechanisms, I guess, that you can apply to so many different things. But at the heart of it, I think we know. It's one of those, like, we'll know it when we see it.
You know
right?
it? Yeah,
it's okay,
exactly.
That's an engine builder. And but yeah, so I'm excited to see what we've got here. Chris, let's get back to you with number 12.
Okay, well, I'll start it off strong and wrong with number 12. No, strong and right. This is a game that I need to pick up a copy of. I've only played other people's copies of it, but I really, really enjoy it. It reminds me, I've been playing a little bit of Lego Fortnite recently, and it reminds me of that.
Okay.
Lego Fortnite's so fun.
Oh, it's so good.
Nice.
This is Anno 1800. There's a lot of cool things that I could talk about this game. This is designed by Martin Wallace. I talked to Martin Wallace. I interviewed him for the World Series of Board Gaming, and we were talking about design and concepts of design. And he said that this is a game where, like, the first pass, he knew what the game was. He had it at like 90% done on the first pass, and he turned this game out in like 3 months or something ridiculous in terms of the design process for something that is so involved. And it is to emulate the computer game and the video game of it. And he also said he paid a friend to play the video game for like so many hours to make sure that like he could
awesome.
distill the feeling of the game for this thing. What I think this game does really cool is, and the reason why I attribute it to like Lego Fortnite, is you have certain steps which you must do to create other things. So in order to build something, you need the wool, and you need the wool to create the sweater, and then you need a sweater to create the so-and-so. And it's chaining all of these things together. And so as you're building, you're actually not in the same sense as a lot of engine builders, but you're actually unlocking possibilities, right? Like things are physically impossible and mechanically impossible for you to obtain without the prerequisites beforehand. And so you're choosing these different paths. I guess you could kind of think of them as tech trees in a sense as well. There might be a little bit of a meld there, but I feel the engine building nature of it, because they're all sort of combining together, and you're using those to complete objective cards. There are a bunch of crew or people who want certain things, and every time you get an additional like worker, which you need to go out and do the stuff, they want something else as well. So you start with like 6 cards in your hand, and when I first played it, I was like, I'm going to be done this so quickly. Like, you think that, and then you're constantly getting more and more because you want to do more stuff, but you have to complete these tasks. So there's a really awesome give and take of when do you end the game and how much do you try to accomplish, because the game ends when somebody has fulfilled all of their orders. It's really, really slick. It's a really nice game. I think I have in my own Discord, in the Room of Board Discord, we're talking about our top 10 games that we played last year, and this is on that list for me. I hadn't played it before last year, and it's just really stuck with me. Super solid. That's our number 12.
Yeah, really, really good choice, Chris. That's what I love about this list. I would not think of Anno 1800 right off the top of my head as an engine builder, but you're totally right. You need this stuff to do other stuff, and you're
And unlocking.
slowly
Yeah.
unlocking. And yeah, I really enjoy this game, and I'm glad that you put it on because it reminds me I need to play it again. I don't have a copy as well. I've only played friends' copies, and every game I've played 2 or 3 players. I think that's the only Cleric as I've done. Wonderful, wonderful experience. Martin Wallace, I mean, he puts out some good games, folks. You may know that name. So
I put out, the
few.
number one game.
A game or two.
Yeah.
Well, periodically.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to our number 11, which I believe is mine. Is that correct?
It's
It
you?
is mine.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Look at that.
let's get ready to go here. So number 11 on the list. This is a newer game. This game came out, I think, end of last year. And for whatever reason, it was just my jam for whatever reason. It just really stuck with me, and I've loved it ever since I played it. This is a game called Gnar. Knarr. Is it Gnar or Canar? I'm not sure how you say it.
I think it's Gnar.
It is Gnar, right?
Probably
I'm-
Nar, so let's
Okay.
call it Canar.
Let's call it Canar. But yeah, so Gnar is a game of. Now here's the thing: I wasn't really that big on the theme, but the art is really cool. It's Vikings. You're gathering a crew of Vikings, assembling them, and then eventually you're going to go to destinations to get more points and whatnot. But what this does, I really love how. I don't know, just streamlined this is. You are playing cards from your hand into your tableau right in front of you. And as you do that, you are going to take, if I play like my yellow Viking, any previously played yellow Vikings, I'll get those actions as well. So maybe one will give me a victory point, one will give me a resource, one will give me something else, and so forth. And then I can take a Viking from the main tableau. Here, let me skip the video real quick so we can take another look at it, Richard. And I can add that to my tableau and add more, get more Vikings. But then eventually I want to get those destinations at the top. And those are going to cost me the Vikings that I've collected. You're sending them out on a trip or missions to go out there and get more points and visit these great lands. And what happens is, yes, I got the destination, but no, now I've lost those Vikings. So my engine needs to be rebuilt. So I no longer have the engine of Vikings, but I do have more points and whatnot. And what's cool is one of the things that you do, not only it's a race to 40 points. So it's just a straight up race, but you have these things in addition to the Viking cards. You're going to go up this one track that gives you ongoing points. Like you build your engine of points. So if I play the right Vikings early, then maybe I can start scoring 1, 2, or 3 points a round at the start of every round. That really builds up. And also I can build up things where I get extra Viking cards, more points, and the other resources, which are helmets and I forgot the other one, helmets or bracelets. And that'll allow me to do cool things like with the destinations that I have, which is Richard showing right there. Those destinations, I spend those resources, I can get everything in each of those rows. I love that about this. There's so much more going on in Gnar or Canar, as you may call it. In such a little package. This is a small box game, but those cards are all tarot size. They fit them in the box. I think it's such one of those perfect, like, hey, we're not going to waste any space in this. There's no wasted space. There's no wasted part of this game. This game is tight. It's streamlined. It plays in about 30 to 35, 40 minutes or so for 2 to 4 players. One of my favorite engine building games of recent times, and also one of my favorite engine building games of all times. That is Gnar.
Yeah, this game, I've only had the pleasure of playing this game a couple of times, but I have nothing else to add. It's great. The art is really beautiful as well. I do feel like Vikings at some point get kind of overplayed, but I do really like the direction they went with the art. And those tarot-sized cards are lovely. And yeah, it doesn't overstay its welcome either in length or in size.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love this. Is a great pick. I don't know why I didn't cross my mind to put it on this list, but that's a great pick. I'm glad you put it on there.
Yeah, thanks. I want to be perfectly transparent. It was not on my list. It was on my mind recently, but I literally had the box next to my computer. I was like, that's going to be on my list because I love that game and I totally forgot about it. So I made it on there. And I think you put it perfectly, Ray. It does not overstay its welcome. Like it's, some engine builders, like sometimes you want them to be, this is sort of a drag that's, I wish it would be sooner. Other engine builders like, oh, I wish I would have had more time to work my engine and I wanted the game longer. I feel like this is that sweet spot. It's like, yeah, I got to do all the stuff I had to do, plus the game is over and now we can play something else. It's just perfect.
Yeah, that's such an interesting, this is a little off topic, but that's such an interesting thing you brought up, that push and pull with engine builders of wanting to get the joy of running your engine, but not wanting to get bored with it. And it's good engine builders know when to cut it short. And that's a theme that I was just thinking when you said that. I was like, oh, yes, the engine builders I ended up not putting on my list, and we can talk about that in the post show, because it either hit one of those two. It either wasn't quite long enough for my engine to be satisfying, or it overstayed a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like the way you put that. That was in my brain, but I hadn't articulated it yet. So
that's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and you mentioned the extended edition of the show. Folks, be sure to click the link below. You can see all the fun stuff that we do before and after we record the YouTube show here on our Twitch channel. So click on the link below and you'll get to see that.
That's true. You might even see Ray spoil an announcement that probably dropped today, right? So you could say it right now, because everybody who's
right, because there's no one in chat. We don't have 122 people watching us record this live. So those people don't exist.
You could say it right now, because this is being put out on YouTube when the announcement has happened. Yeah. Right? I will announcement from the op.
I'll sneak it in here in case you don't watch the post show. Go check right now when you're watching these. Go check the op social channels. We announced a board game today,
and that was which was the one.
And next up is number 10. That's me. Perfect. I'm going to be talking about the next game on our list, which is Wingspan. This is one of those games in my mind that I think is the prototypical engine building game. I have talked about this on this channel before. I did my whole spiel about how I love this game. I love what this game did for the hobby. I will spare all of you and not say all of that again. But that wasn't our top 10 Stonemaier games. I talked more in depth about why I love Wingspan so much. But for our purposes here in this context, this is Wingspan. This is obviously Elizabeth Hargrave's masterpiece, where you are going to be drafting birds and putting them into one of 3 habitats. And this is where the engine building comes in for this game, because those individual habitats are going to correlate with a certain action. So the top one is getting food, the middle one is laying eggs, and the bottom one is drawing more bird cards. And whenever you take one of the corresponding actions, you are then going to activate the abilities on all of the birds that you've played in that habitat. And the way there's really good synergy between the types of birds that live in certain habitats and the corresponding action, right? So for example, the water habitat lets you draw birds. A lot of birds that could live in water habitats involve tucking excess bird cards. So you can really, what I love about this is you can really push one particular strategy because of that synergy between the bird cards and the habitats. This is just a great engine builder. This is such a literal engine builder when you think about it. You take your cube from one side of the board and you go through all the birds that you've played throughout the entire game in that habitat. And it's fantastic. I love this game so very much. And it's a great introduction to engine building as well, because of how tactile and visual it is. You start at the right, you take your little cube, you go across. It's a very good introduction to a relatively complicated, and as we've already discussed, sort of hard to define mechanic. And this is Wingspan. You probably all know Wingspan, so I'm not going to talk any more about it, but this is a great example of engine building.
I love the point that you talked about, Ray, about how tactile it is. That's so true.
Yeah.
I love teaching this game because it seems like it's really easy to get to see folks if they don't know the game. There's that moment you just show them, hey, just move your cube or whatever down here, and they go, it's
so good.
Yeah,
because really another game I'm going to talk about on this list that I won't spoil, but requires you to remember a lot. You have to kind of keep your engine in your head a little bit. What I like about this is that you can't forget any step of it. It holds your hand in a way that's really nice for beginners. So that's Wingspan. I think it's a great example.
I think Wingspan sort of is the example for engine building, right? That's what I think of. You are optimizing the actions. Your actions are getting better as you go along. That it is such a great definition of kind of how I was basing my list. It was in the honorable mentions, of course. Wingspan's one of those games where gamers really latched onto it, and then they go, oh, I've played it way too much. I need to be I don't want to play Wingspan anymore. But when you think about it, it's just a really good game. I love it. I never get sick of it. I love it. And the expansions for it are really good as well. I talked about that again more in the Stonemaier video. I talked about which expansions I like more, but for me, I always find for Wingspan, I think because like my girlfriend really likes playing it, so we play it a lot, and like I like to play a whole lot of games. But like
Fair.
I just commentated on the World Series of Board Gaming like Wingspan final for this year. That was a fun Dice Towers thing. I put together like I was looking at like Wingspan strategy tips on World Series of Board Gaming's YouTube channel. I've been doing like strategy guides for all of the games,
fun.
just like top 5 tips. And so like I also talked to the Wingspan one should be coming out this week. But I talked to like the Wingspan champion and I'll spoil something, right? So we can all spoil together. The number one tip is like play those early bird cost, like those cheaper cost cards first, because they chain together. But what I really liked was pick the action that doesn't go in the row. So if you have a bird that draws cards, make sure it goes in either the laying
so
egg,
you can
like
level up your food ability by having one bird that lets you get a card just for free. Totally.
And so even just thinking about that and thinking about the strategy, I'm on a Wingspan high right now. Like I can't wait to play Wingspan again because I'm I can't wait to try out these strategies and see like what I've learned from watching like high level players play. That's
really cool. I feel like it does kind of get sometimes not a bad rap necessarily, but because it was an entry game for a lot of people, it gets classified in that gateway game category. And sometimes gamers are like, oh, Wingspan. Like there's a lot, especially with the expansions, and when you really like play that game to win, there's I don't know. I think there's more strategy there than people sometimes give it credit for. So I'm excited. I'm going to be watching that video, Chris. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, can't wait. Okay, great choice. Let's move on to number 9. We've got Richard lined up to give us number 9. Richard, take it away.
All right. Okay, very exciting. Engine building has got to be one of my favorite things in all board gaming, although it's a weird, esoteric concept that I think is hard for some people to get their heads around. I mean, it doesn't even have a category on Board Game Geek, and yet I think it's one of those, you know it when you see it sort of thing, although not everybody does, because Chris, Anno 1800 is a lot of things. It's an amazing racing game. It's a great goods conversion game. It's a wonderful, at its heart, worker placement game. But I don't see how it's an engine building game. So I'm looking forward to seeing your description of how you would consider this to be an engine building game. It's worker placement. The thing doesn't run on its own. Everything that happens is because... Anyway, regardless, I look forward to the description. However, Ruel, Nar is a phenomenal choice. I love that one a lot. A little on the light side, a little on the small side. I kind of wish the engine building was driving something bigger than just set collection at its heart, but so sharp and such a brilliant little game. Absolute gem. More people should get their hands on this. And Ray, Wingspan made my short list, quite frankly. I feel like it should be on my list instead of yours, but you ranked it just a little bit more on your, but it's so cool. 3 simultaneous engines in parallel, one feeding the other. Absolutely brilliant. It is the engine building that is what makes Wingspan so absolutely phenomenal and so well loved. But we're going to move on to number 9 on our list. And Chris, maybe this would work for you too, because it's Funfair. And Chris, this is what I'm saying. Officially, I think I'm just going to assume yours was unfair, because I know you love unfair as much as I love funfair. And yeah, at its heart, this is an engine building game. We are, grabbing cards, playing them to an engine, our own little, theme park. And at the end of every round, we run our engine. We run that theme park and generate a lot of money so that we can keep on building bigger and bigger. It's a pretty simple engine building game where the engine only does one thing, but you do run it over and over, and everything is about trying to puzzle all the pieces together to make the most successful engine possible. And it's absolutely brilliant. There is so much to recommend in this game, so much replayability with all the different theme park themes that you can throw in, all the different objectives. It's absolutely brilliant, and on top of that, it's just got a great presentation too. So number 9 on our combined list is Funfair. And I don't know, maybe number 12 is Unfair. I don't know. Looking forward to seeing the video.
Thank you.
I mean,
Richard.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that Funfair made it on the list. I'm thrilled that Unfair is represented. I love Unfair.
Yeah.
I actually haven't played Funfair, but I've played the fun version of Unfair because my girlfriend doesn't like when I'm mean to her in a game. She's like, "Stop messing with my tableau. I just want to do my own thing, and you're targeting me." I'm like, "I know, because I know you have that blueprint, and I don't want you to get 99 points in the Alien expansion."
Right.
There's one that anyway. Doesn't matter. I think Anno 1800 is significantly larger in the engine building than Unfair. That engine that Richard's talking about, you run your engine, you get income. That's what you get at the end. You run all the people come to your park. What do they give you? They give you income. That's it. That's all. You have event card. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Funfair has revolutionized the engine building genre. I don't know. But in Anno 1800, one of the best engine builders out there, I feel like, maybe it should have been, maybe both Unfair and Anno 1800 should have been on my list. But I feel like you're unlocking more possibilities to complete with your objectives through that unlocking of different stats and chaining things together. And I'm stretching, but I don't think I'm stretching as much as Funfair. But honestly, don't care, because Funfair or Unfair, phenomenal games. Love them so much, and so I'm not even mad. They can appear on any list, and I'll go with you, Richard. I'll justify it. I'll go through those leaps.
Nice. I love the extra spice today from Chris, folks. Extra spicy Chris is my favorite. Chris, Funfair. I haven't played it either. I remember playing Unfair, and it fell flat with me and my group. So maybe, maybe that I need to play Funfair. I don't know, but I know a lot of people enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That was our number 9, and excuse me, we're going to turn it back to Chris for our number 8.
Well, you want to talk about engine builders that are real engine builders. Feast your eye popsicles on these next ones. This is actually a real engine builder. This is my honorary where Splendor could have fallen. I decided to opt for something a little bit that takes Splendor and kind of tweaks it on its head. It's not Century Golem. That's gross. It's Project L.
Yes.
Project L is the one that we're talking about as our number 8. Project L gives me super Splendor feeling vibes, but you also have polyominoes. You have a bunch of different tiles that you can complete, objectives. There are sort of black cards, white cards. They all have different sort of shapes that you have to fill in. You can see them at the top of the screen there. And on your turn, you can do a number of different things. The idea being that every time, like Splendor, every time you complete one of those cards, like you purchase one of those cards, you get an additional polyomino that you can then incorporate into future cards. And so on your turn, you're choosing to like put down your own polyominoes, level up your own polyominoes, or take additional cards that you can complete and chain into other things. It's really, really slick in terms of how you're building your pool of resources and the ways that you can build that pool of resources. Kind of like Anno 1800, I guess, if we were to classify them. It's really like the tools that you have on your disposal get more efficient in terms of how you can how they can access things, how they can complete things because they're larger, what shapes they are, and it's really solid, really fun. It's a bit expensive for my cheapy old me tastes, because you got like the really nice plastic pieces.
It's nice components, yeah.
It's really nice components, and because you've got to like slot them into the cards too, and you want to just like lay them down, and so like the production quality is really nice, which also comes with a higher cost, which. So like I would probably opt for Splendor too, just because like Splendor is cheaper. But I didn't want to put Splendor on the list, because I feel like, again, Splendor is one of those things that feels sort of quintessential. We might have been talking about this in the pre-show or before we got on stream.
Yep.
Project L kind of hits the similar feeling, right? And in terms of time that it takes, decision space that happens, and it's really solid. So that's our number 8, Project L.
Yeah, this is a fantastic choice, Chris. And just to point out in the video, this is the one I run through I did for the channel. This actually included the finesse expansion. So there's some stuff at the very bottom here. Those are like in-game goals. So that's what it adds. But the base game, and I mean, I've loved Project L for years, Chris. It's like one of those games for the longest time I thought it was like so underappreciated. And then the company actually went out of business, but they came back to life thanks to Kickstarter. And like now you can get the game again. Really excited about that. It is a pricier than Splendor, but I think it's worth it. It combines two of my favorite things, tile laying and engine building, and it's so good. And have you been able to play the expansion, Chris, or any of the expansions?
I think I have, yeah. And they added more pieces too, right?
Yeah.
Are there like white and black pieces?
Yep.
Are those expansion pieces?
They are.
Yeah. So I think I played with those, yeah.
Yeah. What I like best about the expansions, you add these things and it's not like making the game 10 times longer or 10 times more complicated. It slots in so nicely. And I love expansions like that. And Project L, a favorite from the get-go for me. I absolutely love it. Great choice.
Nice.
I've
never played Project L, and it's actually a great shame for me because I worked with the designer. He works for CGE. Adam Spaniel is just like an employee at CGE. And he published this independently outside of the company. I've never played it. And there came a point where I like, that point where you're like, you say like, oh yeah, as if you've played it. You don't officially confirm, but then everyone kind of assumes you have, and then at some point you just like run with the lie forever. That's me in Project L. I've never played it. I think I'd love it. I love polyominoes, but it became an awkward thing where I couldn't stop.
I hear you.
So that's the big reveal that's happened on this stream.
There you go.
We have Ray's big reveal.
There it is, folks.
Yeah.
Nice. Great choice for number 8, Chris. Let's move on to number 7, which is going to go back to me. This one is another favorite of mine, a longtime favorite. It is, what is it? It is Fantastic Factories. This came out a few years ago, and I've enjoyed this from the get-go. It's, along with Tile Lane, we were just talking about Project L. One of my other favorite things to do is card draft and also dice placement. And that's what you're doing here in Fantastic Factories. You're drafting cards to build your little row of factories. So you got a little tableau building as well. And as you do that, it's going to give you unlock spaces for your dice to, you do extra actions with your dice by placing some of your new buildings. You have some basic stuff on your player card, which will get you resources. And it is a race to, I believe, 15 points. So it goes by pretty quickly. It's about another 30-minute game. I mean, y'all know how much I love these streamlined games that give you a lot to do in 30 to 45 minutes, and Fantastic Factories does it so good. So on your turn, you're going to draft one of the building cards, or you can draft a contractor for hire. Those are the ones where they give you a special ability for the round, and then you're going to eventually roll the dice, place them to gather resources, then convert those resources into your factories and different buildings. Those will start pumping out, like an engine, will start pumping out more resources and or points, which you'll hopefully get enough by the end of the game to hit that 15-point mark first. Richard here is playing the solo version. Another pretty solid version. I think it was a little, the first time I played it was a little clunky, but it took me a little while. I figured it out. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is not a bad solo version. I still prefer it 2 to 4 players, but it plays so quickly and so smoothly. Fantastic Factories, that's our number 7 game for our best top engine building games.
Yeah, this is a great pick, Rule. This is another one where I'm like, that's engine building. Yep.
Yeah, totally, right?
And a really great quintessential, that solidifies the definition too, which I like doing with this list, especially when it was so wide and open. I love that Richard said the same things that we were talking about too, right? Like that just shows that it's it's fun.
It is cool. Okay, let's move on to our number 6, and Ray's got this choice for us.
Yes. Okay. So my number 6 is a game that I love that I feel like doesn't get enough love. And this is like if Wingspan were the thoughtful, calm, meditative engine building, this is the chaotic cousin that nobody talks to. and that is Whirling Witchcraft. I adore this game. Whirling Witchcraft is a pretty relatively short little game where you are going to be witches casting spells. And on your turn, you're going to pick a card, you're going to pick a spell and place it in front of you. And then simultaneously, everyone is going to activate all of the spells that they have. So that's the engine building. You're going to be slowly building up this tableau of spells and then activating all of them. And what is a spell, you ask? Great question. So a spell is a card where you're going to take ingredients from your workbench and put them as the input to the spell. So in order to cast, like, I don't know, the raining frogs or something, you need to have 2 mandrakes and 5 frogs. That's a lot, but whatever. It would have a certain amount of ingredients that you take from your own personal workbench. You put it into the input section on the top of the card. And then once you've done that for all of your spells create an output of some other different combination of ingredients. So maybe that flying frog potion or whatever creates 2 mushrooms. Then you're going to collect all of the outputs, all of the output ingredients, put them in a little cauldron and pass them to the person on your right, who then has to take all of those ingredients and put them onto their personal workbench. If at any point you get a cauldron of ingredients and there's an ingredient type that you don't have space for anymore, that ingredient becomes a point for the person who sent them to you. So this does such a cool thing that I really, really love. It's a little mean, it's a little swingy, but it's short, so like I don't mind it at all. There's this fun tension where you are trying to build the best engine of spells that you can, where you can create as many ingredients from like the stuff that you're being sent as possible so that you can overwhelm the person to your right, but you're also trying to deal with all the crap that the person on the left is sending you. Because if you've built this great engine that just makes a ton of mushrooms, but you're not being sent the correct input ingredients, you need to be really adaptable. And it's so fun because it's this cyclical turn cycle, right? Where you're sending stuff to the person on the right, you're getting stuff from the person on the left. And there can be, if you want to be kind of mean and meta about it, you can kind of like gang up on people by starving someone of the ingredients they need for their engine. You can get really fun. Again, it's a little swingy, it's a little chaotic, but it's super short. It's crazy how quickly this game ramps where you're like, man, this is easy. I have so much space on my bench. And then all of a sudden, boom, someone sends you 7 mandrakes out of nowhere. And you're like, oh God. And now you have to reroute your entire plan to just be a mandrake, like crisis management system where you just need to draft all the cards that consume mandrakes because you're being overrun with them. This game is so good. I think the reason why it's so high on this list, even though I love Wingspan so much, is that this is really interactive. Engine building so much can be just like multiplayer solitaire where you're just staring and watching your little thing go. This is so inherently interactive and chaotic. Oh, I love it. Maybe other games do this as well, but this was the first game that I was introduced to that does this sort of roundabout interaction with the engine that you're creating. You have to be so adaptable, and that's a really fun thing to be pushed to do in engine building, because so often, like even with Wingspan and some of the other examples, you get into like, I'm going to be the egg person, and you just do that, and there's no external reason to really stop doing that unless you maybe don't get the cards you want. This is so interactive and great.
Yeah.
And I just ranted about that. I'm out of breath now. I love this game. If you haven't played Whirling Witchcraft, oh, it's beautiful. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I haven't played it.
Oh, Chris,
it's so good. It's so good. I feel like people don't talk about it enough. It just kind of released under the radar.
Yeah.
It's such a good little game.
Right. It's so underappreciated, and I absolutely adore this game. It's Chris, you got to play it. This is the best description I ever heard of this game. When I first learned it, they said, this is a game of, remember that classic I Love Lucy episode where they're making the chocolates in the chocolate factory, and it's going, all the chocolates are coming along the belt, and they're trying to store them. But eventually there's a point where Lucy and Ethel, did y'all ever watch I Love Lucy, or is this like,
I'm a child.
Okay. But you know what I Love Lucy is?
I know I Love Lucy.
Yes, okay. I can imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lucy, eventually there's this conveyor belt of chocolates that they need to put in boxes, and they start coming in way too fast, and she just like started throwing them around, started eating them. That's what this game feels like to me. It's the Lucy episode, and because you're getting all this stuff, you're trying to get rid of it at the same time, and eventually there's gonna be that point like, okay, game's over because I don't have any more spaces for the mandrakes or whatever. It's an engine building game, and also like, I guess, engine building / engine wrecking, because you're eventually wrecking someone else, and
you're trying to just ruin. You're like, hey, I see this engine you got. That looks looks really nice.
Yeah.
What if I send you a bunch of crap that you can't put anywhere?
Exactly.
Like you can, it forces you, like if you do have this perfect engine that just like consumes a bunch of frogs, right? If the person to your left is smart, they will reroute to send you none of what you need, send you no mushrooms, and just send you a ton of frogs, and you've got to like dismantle and figure out something else.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. No other game like has that feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's one of those games too. I remember hearing one of the developers when I play tested it. One of the developers said like on average it's only like 5 or 6 rounds. It's like super quick, and it really wraps up. Like the first 2 turns, like okay, cool, blah blah blah. The third round, I was like, oh no, I've got all this on my plate now. What am I gonna do? It's so good, Chris. I think you'd love it.
I gotta say, like, you can probably see my expression as Ray was talking about it. It's the same as Decorum. Like, that's 2 games where I'm like, I think I would love this game. Like, I think I would love Whirling Witchcraft. I think I would be really into Decorum. There's something that happens in my brain. I'm like, oh, a new little treat for me to discover.
Little trinket.
It feels. Yeah, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm buying it right now. Okay, I'm going to the store.
There it is.
Play Richard Ham. What does he got to say?
Richard, what do you got for number 5 while Chris goes by this game?
Okay. Oh, boy. Ruel, we are so simpatico. Fantastic Factories definitely made my shortlist. An absolutely phenomenal game, made even better with the expansion. Well, one of the expansions. The other expansion I'm not such a fan of, the kind of cutthroat take that one. But even just the base game of Fantastic Factories is such great engine building fun. And Ray, Whirling Witchcraft. Honestly, I have to admit, I didn't even think of that, but that's a brilliant choice. So smart, and so much more player interaction in that game than most engine builders, which can often be kind of a solitaire. Everybody's just focusing on their own little engine. Well, here, my little engine is so directly impacted by the engines of my neighbors. Plus, of course, the closed-hand card drafting, too. Really, chef's kiss choice, I have to say. Good call. And Chris. Okay, you're doing better because I don't know why Project L refers to itself as an engine building game, and it's often called an engine building game, although I do not believe it is an engine building game at all. You get your things back, and you can do that turn that lets you spread a whole bunch of stuff out, but it's not an engine building game. But they say they're an engine building game. They put it right there on their box, so I'll let it go. But enough complaining about Chris's choices. What's number 5 on the list, folks? Honestly, I am surprised it wasn't on anybody else's list. It's Earth. And yeah, I know Earth made my last top R&R countdown as well. I can't help it, folks. The game is just that good, and this is one of the best engine building games of all time. It's in my top 25 games of all time. If it's an engine building game in my top 25 games of all time, of course I'm going to talk about it. And more than just being a really great example of engine building, it's such a smart one because you're building this grid of cards that represent flora and fauna of biomes, and you're trying to get these cards all laid out because they want to be next to certain things or in certain rows and columns for scoring and all that. But you also get to run your biome engine, which means activating all those cards, or I should say all the cards of a given type. And you do them from top left to bottom right. So that becomes another element in how you're laying all these things together. And it is so smart and so brilliantly puzzly. And then on top of that, there's a million other things about Earth that make it great. But it is also one of the most clever and innovative engine building games of all time, quite frankly. And of course, it has to be on the shortest of short lists for engine building. Okay, back to you, gang.
Yeah, Earth. I'm gonna be straight up. I forgot about Earth. I don't know why. It wasn't in my mind. First of all,
how could you with Richard mentioning it every episode?
I know, right?
Yeah, you can either bring people unique, interesting ways to develop and enrich their experience of certain mechanics, or you can just rely on the same tricks over and over again. I don't know which one you'd want to do. I was thinking the whole time. I was like, dang, how can I pretend Earth isn't an engine builder?
Yeah.
Like, I guess the follow mechanic is like a bit strong, and like the tableau aspects of like laying down. Yeah. But it's true. Your powers get better over time, so I couldn't discount that. So I had to go the other route.
Yeah,
and I just attacked
Richard directly.
Just attack his
personal
credibility.
attack.
Personal attack.
Thank you for having me on your channel. Here's what I think of you.
Yeah, I think for me, I do think about that Tableau more, but it truly is an engine.
Yeah,
builder,
you're
and
right. It's
fantastic
Tableau.
one.
It's a
Yeah.
Tableau.
Tableau, yeah.
Engine. Never seen it.
Yeah.
They don't even have gears in Earth. It's all nature.
Right? Yeah.
Where's the engine in that one?
Oh my God! Goodness gracious! Great choice, Richard. Thank you for that. And Chris, why don't we continue with our number 4 game on the list?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this one Richard won't have an issue with, and I'm very disappointed.
Oh no!
Because I'd love to keep the streak going. This is a game about getting a bunch of different stuff on your science fair. Who knows the theme? There are fun marbles. It's Gizmos. Gizmos is a fantastic, quick little engine builder game. Again, in that sort of same vein as Splendor. It gives the same feel as Splendor. You have 4 different actions that you can take. There are a couple more, but those are kind of passive actions. There are 4 main actions. You can take marbles from the pool, the little row of marbles that are out there. You can spend the marbles to buy something else. You can reserve a card, and you can research a card, which is just better than reserving, where you get to look through a number of cards and file it away as well. But every time you build one of these machinery, you get points, and you also get something better on one specific action. It's that cascading actions. It's optimizing those actions. It's making the actions that you're taking more and more effective. You start out by doing one thing by picking a blue marble, and then you pick a blue marble, which lets you draw a random thing from so-and-so, which lets you file something away. And then you filed something, so you get to draw 2 new marbles. So I pick a red marble, and then the red marble lets me draw another random one. It cascades in a really, really satisfying way. It's really solid, and I hope that Richard somehow has some sort
something
of
bad to say about it.
state that happens, because it's not gonna happen. But it's really, really good. Production quality is great, and the having the little rings to hold the marbles is clutch. So that they don't roll off the table. Like, well thought, plays super quickly. It doesn't overstay its welcome. You're just ramping up, and then it's done. It's great.
Yeah, I'm so glad you put this on the list, Chris, because one of my favorite designers did this game, Phil Walker Harding. Praise be. Thank you.
Praise be.
Thank you. And it's such a wonderful. Literally, you have all the gears and stuff, and you're building an engine. Like, at least in my head, you are. I mean, I know it's like gizmos or whatever, but to me, it's like just engine building.
I don't see any flora or fauna up in there,
or birds,
you know
or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, a fantastic game. And the bits too, very nice touch with the marbles and stuff. And I remember when this first came out, Potion Explosion was all the rage. So me and my game group were like, oh, Gizmos, this is the next Potion Explosion. Nothing like it at all. Nothing. 2 totally different games.
Just the marbles.
Yeah, just the marbles. That's it. But yeah, great choice for number 4. And I hope Richard doesn't have a problem with this one, because I think it's fantastic.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
Nice. Okay, let's move. We got our top 3 now. I'm going to move on to the number 3 game, which comes to me, and we'll see if Richard has a problem with this. It is a game that came out a couple of years ago. It was my favorite from a few years ago, and I think it's fantastic. And I didn't think of it at first as an engine builder, but over the years, my stance has changed. I feel like it is, and it is our number 3, Furnace. This is a game from Arcane Wonders, where at least for me, when I first think of this game, I think about that auction bid mechanism, right? Because you're auctioning to get the different cards, resources, and whatnot. But after the auction, which is just a small part of the game, you're going to line up those buildings in your tableau and run them eventually every round to get resources. And that's where the engine building part is, right? So as you select those, you run your engine, get resources. It's only 4 rounds, so it's quick. But again, we talked about this earlier in the show, how it doesn't outstay its welcome, and you still have the satisfaction of running your engine. So I really love this game. I should point out that for those that sort of like, I mean, I know a lot of people liked it but didn't love it as much as I did. get the expansion. The Interbellum expansion, folks, is fantastic. It really adds it adds like complexity and depth to the game without it being overbearing. You're just adding some new asymmetric abilities, which are the manager cards, which give you either a one-time or an ongoing bonus or ability, and then they tweak the auction element just a bit, where you all have your 1, 2, 3, 4 disc, and you're still going to put it on a card, and you cannot put it like the same color or the same number on the same card, but they have an extra disc that everyone gets, which is variable. So what you can do is spend coal and say, if I have like 10 coal, all of a sudden I have a 10 bid disc, which will hopefully get me the card that I want. So it's a really cool element that they add, and I love it. I still love the base game. I think the base game is fantastic. Again, it plays in about 30 to 40 minutes. That's my wheelhouse these days. That's the type of game I want to play. And with the auction element and the engine build element, it just sings to me. This is one of the fantastic games of the last few years, and that is our number 3 collectively, Furnace.
That's a great choice. When I forgot that I saw the list in advance this time, and I was like, oh, what a great pick. I wish I had put that on my list. And then I forgot that I said that. And then when it came around again, I said, oh, what a great pick. I wish I had put that on my list. And then I was like, we've been here before. I think you're exactly right. The bidding element of Furnace is awesome. It's spectacular. But the engine you're creating, it's 50% of the game. Yep. You need to chain your stuff into other stuff and ramp it up so you can get more points. And I agree with you. The Interbellum expansion is great. I'm going to put out a review on Furnace on my own channel like very soon.
Nice.
So I've been playing a lot of it recently. It's fantastic. The playmat is also really good. Yeah. I'm not a playmat guy, but it fits
Arcane Wonders has been doing a really nice job with
agreed
production quality and playmats and stuff for their games. It's awesome.
Yeah, fits right in the box, and like it's very helpful because you lay out a different number of cards depending upon the people, like 2, 3, or 4, and it's just got the little spots and little faded outlines of like 3 players and 4 players.
Nice.
And it's just one of those things where I'm like, you know what? It's not necessary at all, but like it really, I like it. I like it a lot. And Furnace strangely plays really well at 2. A bidding game that plays well at 2 is so surprising to me. But like, I quite enjoy it. You just have an automated sort of opponent, and in the Interbellum, you get that opponent has a potential to win. So it kind of elevates it. You can do like maybe a solo mode, and you can also cheese it a bit. They roll a dice, and that's where they put their card on like 1, 2, 3, or 4, basically like whatever number of card. And if they can't put it there, then they go to the next one. And so I was like, okay, great. There's a 78% chance that I can get this disc onto the place where I want it to be, so that I can get the reward underneath it. And it felt very good to be able to like predict that sort of stuff. So great choice with Furnace. Thanks. I got very excited about it. So
love the game. We've got 2 more to go, and Ray, you've got our number 2 on the list.
All right, number 2 is going to be Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. This is the standalone rework to the original Terraforming Mars, and while I think both are great examples of engine building, I just vastly prefer Ares Expedition. I think it's tighter, snappier, faster. The original Terraforming Mars I find to be a bit bloated. And this is just, it looks prettier and it plays faster. I find it a much easier teach. But if you're unfamiliar with the concept of Terraforming Mars in general, basically we're space capitalists who are here to make Mars habitable for people by doing various like global goals, right? Like raising the temperature of the planet, increasing the oxygen content. We're all doing various things to raise these communal goals, but we're space capitalists. So we want to walk away from this communal goodwill with the most money and the most recognition. And that's your goal in Terraforming Mars. And you're going to do that mainly by playing cards. It's like this gigantic deck of like 200 unique cards, which is wild. And it's one of my favorite things when I show it to people for the first time. I'm like, look at all these. They're all different. It's so cool. And the engine building part of Terraforming Mars is that those cards, a lot of them, sometimes they'll be one-time effects, but lots of them will increase your production of various resources that you need for those global goals. They don't give you the resources like finitely in like themselves. They increase your production of those resources. And that to me is engine building, right? The more of the like plant production cards you make, when it comes to produce, the more plants you make. And that is really, really fun. And Ares Expedition has this really beautiful dual layered board where you're moving your production up on these nice little tracks. Oh, I just love this game. And yeah, that's Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. I think it's a great example of engine building. This is a favorite in my house. This is my partner's like favorite board game, period, full stop.
Cool.
So I play this game
Nice.
a lot. I just introduced it to some new people last weekend, and yeah, it's another great introduction to engine building and multi-use, like not multi-use cards, but like unique cards. This idea that like you may never see another animal card for the whole game because there's so many.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. A fantastic choice. I'm the same way, Ray. Like, I love Terraforming Mars, the original, but after a while, especially when you play Ares Expedition, it is bloated. It takes a while. Like, I remember when I was in Terraforming Mars, they finally released Prelude expansion, which is absolutely necessary when you play that game. But then they came out with Ares Expedition. It's like, I'm not going to lie to you, that's the only one I play now. I love Ares Expedition, and including like it, not only everything you said, but also it gives you that Roll for the Galaxy style action selection. You're gonna select.
Oh, I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, I thought
that's
that
one of the
brilliant.
biggest changes from the original Terraforming Mars. If you're unfamiliar, instead of everyone going around and taking individual turns, you all will at the start play an action card, like a card that represents an action, like production, for example. And then everyone, depending on like what like action cards people played, everyone does all of those actions. So like if Chris and I both play production and Ruel picks like the card draw action or whatever, then everyone's going to do production and card draw, but we're not going to play any cards because nobody selected that action, and you get a little bonus if you're the one who plays that particular action card, which I think is really it cleans it up. It makes it so much faster, so much more approachable for new players.
Absolutely.
I contemplated putting Ares Expedition on my list too. I feel like Ares Expedition feels more engine buildery to me than Terraforming Mars does.
Than the original,
like
Okay.
Terraforming Mars, I didn't consider as like an engine builder. I know people kind of reference it in terms of tableau building. You're kind of getting your tags, your engine, your actions that you get to do are the blue actions, right? And I always find that like unless you're really going for that strategy, sometimes you don't even really have to engage in that aspect.
Yeah.
But I find with the follow mechanic of Race for the Galaxy or Earth of the choosing and getting a bonus, I find with that in Ares Expedition, it feels like to me there are more cards that allow you to do stuff when the action is chosen. It just kind of feels that way a bit to me. I guess it's not really because you have the blue and the red, like you still just get to play the card then. But I think with the production, like you were saying, it feels more engine building to me. I think that's exactly it. And so like in terms of putting one forward as being more engine buildery than the other, it's this because it is, again, that's why it feels like a much more solo experience too. If I play this game, with my friend Zach, I was like, well, see you at the end.
See you at the end. Yeah, you don't even have that area control of the original game. You're really just like, see you in 2.5 hours.
and then I looked up. I was like, hey, how was your game? He's like, yeah, it was good. I was like, cool. Thanks for coming over. Goodbye. But it's just I'm hyperbolizing to some extent. But I think that also lends itself to that format a bit more.
Totally.
So,
Great choice. Let's see what we've got at the top of the list.
I am sure he'll hate it.
We'll see. Richard, what do you think of our choices, and what do you have for us at number 1?
Oh, good choices, everybody. Ruel, once again, you and I, we're practically mind melded. I'm reminded of the fact that once I said in the R&R show, you complete me, and yes, you do. Furnace is so brilliant, and most people think of it as an auction game, but it's an auction that lets you build an engine. And if you play Furnace in the hardcore mode, where once you've laid a card down, you have to play them in that order, I mean, you'll never be able to go back. I mean, Furnace is brilliant either way, but oh man, the engine building in that game is so incredible. Amazingly too. Time bench. And then good choice again. Those blue cards, the more of them you get out, and that's it. You get to run, and it can be so satisfying. Although, interestingly, you can pretty much ignore that. I mean, it's an engine building game where you don't have to build much of an engine at all, which I guess is kind of unique and interesting and noteworthy as well. And just absolutely phenomenal. And Chris, Bravo! You came up with an actual engine building game. You pulled it off right there at the end. Gizmos is definitely one. Seeing as how you make grabbing you start upgrading certain actions like grabbing red marbles, and then every time you grab a red marble, you run your red marble engine. And but of course, the reason for this game to exist is that little marble tray. It is so nice and charming and lovely. A great little gateway game, a great intro to engine building, quite frankly, and I am very happy to see it on the list. Speaking of lists, before we get to the number one, folks, we're not done yet. This is the R&R main show, but there's an extended edition you could go watch with fun hijinks with Chris and Ray and Ruel getting into stuff, and also in the post show of the extended edition, you can hear additional. I'm going to give you a full top 10. I'm only telling you about 3 today, but I've got 7 more I want to tell you about, and that'll be in the post show. Links for it down in the show notes. Don't miss out on it, because engine building, again, is one of my favorite topics of all time. But enough dilly-dally, enough preamble. Let's talk about Manhattan Project Energy Empire. The greatest. This game is my number 12 highest ranked game of all time. And it's an absolutely brilliant worker placement game about trying to meet the energy needs of a growing population of the modern world. It's got so much to recommend. It is, at its heart, a worker placement game. But the thing is, when you send your workers out, either to an industrial, a government, or I think commercial, those are the 3 worker placement zones you can place your workers in to do various and sundry actions. But the thing is, the more industrial cards, industries you invest in, the brown cards, I think that brown was industry. If you have a bunch of brown cards and then you do an industrial action, and not only do you do the core action on the main board, but you activate all of those cards you've invested in. So you can have 3 different engines you're running, and some of them are stronger than others, and you're constantly balancing all this stuff. I talked about how Wingspan is brilliant because it's got these 3 parallel engines, and this one has it in a different way where the engines are supplementing an existing worker placement game, and it's absolutely brilliant. Again, one of the greatest games of all time. I cannot recommend it highly enough, and so much variability built into it. But the engine building is just perfection. The worker placement's really clever too. The unique player powers. There's so much to recommend here. But anyway, I'm gonna throw back to you folks, and I hope to see you in the post show, the extended edition, because I got more to talk about.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Folks, those are our top 12 engine building games, and I want to thank you for watching. We're going to end things here because we record this live on Twitch every week or every other week, and of course, this time we are running late, so we need to head over to the post show. You can watch the post show by clicking on the link below for the extended edition. We talk about a lot more games, so come on and join us over there. Chris, Ray, thank you again for hanging out. Always a pleasure. And on that note, we're going to take off, and we want to thank our sponsor, Floodgate Games, for sponsoring this episode of the R&R Show. Until next time, folks, we'll see you later. Bye-bye. And hello, we are back, folks, for the post show, and
Ray can spoil it.
Yes.
Well, maybe after Richard's video. Maybe.
Let's start things with Richard's video, because I know we're running late already. Richard, what do you have us for your other games?
Out of the way.
Yeah, let's get this out of the way for Chris.
Okay, folks, welcome to the post show. I promise a full top 10 from me. I've already heard 3 of mine, plus some other ones that the gang mentioned. But before I get to that, folks, I love engine builders so much. And I originally did a list of these back in 2010. Look at me, back when I used to hold the sign up. And I don't know, I guess I pretty much look the same. I'm certainly much grayer now than I was 10 years ago. Look at that. Jeez Louise. But anyway. I love engine building, and I want to say, I'll put a link for this video down in the show notes, because some of the games I talked about almost 10 years ago would have made this list today. But I want to have a completely new list of games that have come out since 2015. So I'm about to give you a sequel to my almost decade-old top 10 engine building games. Man, I'm just as scruffy as ever. Although, man, my beard is grayer too. Anyway, regardless, that's neither here nor there. Let's actually talk about a new list of games, shall we? I think so. Number 10 on my list is, I didn't resize that. There we go. Bad Company. Bad Company is a game of the style of Machi Koro, where you make investments in the more, and Machi Koro is an engine building game, make no mistake. The more you invest in the number 6, you want every round to see 6s rolled. And Bad Company might be the best of all of the Machi Koro inspired games. We are a heist crew trying to get out of town, being chased by the cops, but over the course of the game, we upgrade our crew members so that if we roll their number, we can do more and more stuff. Each one of our crew members is a little separate engine we can invest in, and then we hope to get to run those engines, and Bad Company is fantastic. I love it quite a bit. Number 9 on my list is Fantastic Factories. You've already heard about that. Ruel ranked it a bit higher than me in his own personal ranking, so he got to talk about it, but I'm sure I agree with everything my brother from another mother said. All right, number 8, It's a Wonderful World. How did this not make it on anybody's short list? One of the greatest engine building games of all time. So satisfying. Blind drafting, building cards, and then running this gigantic, longer and longer and longer stack of cards that represent you doing the best to maintain a profitable and wealthy society. Like there's an engine over there. There's another person's engine. I mean, it's rarely that you see the engine so clearly manifested on the table that you just run all these cards in order and it gets so big and so long and so complex. Love it to pieces. Next up, we have got Rahdo, which I'm sure most people haven't heard of, and it's a real shame. It's a wonderful little tile laying game where we're on an alien planet trying to revitalize it, grabbing cards and putting them into a little 9x9 grid. And at the end of every turn, there's this little alien doohickey that orbits around each player's individual little grid. I can't find a picture of the little alien. There he is, little alien doohickey. So at the end of the round, that one's going to move clockwise, and because it landed in that spot, it will activate every card in that column. And then it'll activate every card in the next column and the next column. So really, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 engines represented by the 3 rows and 3 columns, and they get activated in a specific order, and it's freaking brilliant. It's such a smart game. One of the biggest hidden gems flying under the radar everybody should know about Rahdo, who have come out in the last few years. I highly recommend you seek it out if you love engine building as much as I do, folks. Then we've got, Corrosion. Wow, this game is so far out. It's at heart a deck builder, and strictly speaking, all deck builders are really engine builders. Your deck is your engine, but what's really interesting is at the middle of the board is this, your board is this spinning clock. When you play a card, you put it on one of the outskirts of your board. And what the real engine of this game is, it's a card collection engine. It's a deck refreshing engine, because whenever you make your engine run, i.e. this wheel at the center of your thing move, that gets you one step closer to recalling all of your cards. So you can go back to deck building, go back to playing. But you have this real tension because you want to get your card back. So you want the engine to keep going. You want the cogs to literally turn in this big super steampunk engine. But the problem is, the more it turns, the more stuff breaks down because of the corrosion in this literal steampunk factory. It's freaking brilliant. I love it to pieces. It is a great, great engine building game, Corrosion. Then there was Funfair, we've talked about that. There was Furnace, we've talked about that. There was Wingspan, we've talked about that. There was, I didn't click on it. There was Earth, we talked about that. And the Manhattan Project, we talked about that. And I'm curious to see what everybody else has. Although I'm a bit nervous about what Chris comes up with. Back to you guys.
Oh, Richard. Thank you, Richard, for all those great games. A lot of great stuff there. We talked about,
I don't think I saw a single engine builder in there, though, unfortunately. Personally, I didn't see a single one. But
by the way, M Peoples, thank you for the raid. Everyone, welcome in. Appreciate it. We're at the tail end of the R&R show right now, doing the post show, and Chris is talking about all the great engine builders that Richard just talked about during his post show wrap up. What about you, Chris? Any games that didn't make your final list?
Oh man, I wish I had prepared non-engine builders for this. I didn't have my list ready. I did not have it. I was I gotta answer honestly. I talked a little bit about Splendor again. Wingspan was on there, kind of in those sort of classics that Now I'm just distracted because of the joke. Somebody else go.
I have some, Chris. I'll save you. I only had two others that were on my wanted to talk about list because again, like Splendor and stuff, right?
Yep.
The ones that I had on my list. My number 4 was Mechanica, which is a game from Resonum that was like one of the first games. I didn't work on the design, so I don't feel bad talking about it. I just did like marketing for it. It's one of the first games that I worked on with Resonum, and it is one of the coolest engine builders that exists. It does something I've literally never seen another game do since, which is you are drafting puzzle pieces, literal puzzle pieces off a central wheel and snapping them into place on a little factory. So you're making vacuum robots. We couldn't say the word Roomba, but they're Roombas. You're making little evil Roombas that are coming into your home on these little conveyor belts, and you're snapping together puzzle pieces that will duplicate the Roombas that come into this machine or upgrade them. And it's really, really clever. I have never seen anyone use puzzle pieces like that before, and I now know why, because manufacturing puzzle pieces is actually really hard.
Yeah.
To make them all universally fit with each other was a nightmare. But it's really cool, and they found a way to actually make it work. And Mechanica was 4 on my list. And then my 5th one was Through the Ages, A Story of Civilization, which I talk about as a joke during our pre-show all the time. This one was on my list because this is one of the beefiest true engine builders that I can think of. I think I'm a little traumatized because I played it a bunch when I worked at CGE. It's a little bit. I did this whole thing when I was at CGE of I wanted to get really good at Through the Ages. So we brought in the world champion, the best Through the Ages player in the world to mentor me.
Nice.
And I still suck at it. We had this whole hero's journey planned of he was going to mentor me for a year and then I was going to enter the world championship. I did not make it out of the first round. So I'm not very good at it, but I gained a lot of respect for how good that game is and what that game does mechanically. So that was my number 5, was Through the Ages.
Very cool.
Coming up with the literal conception of engines from nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. Oh, some great. I really want to try Mechanica now. I've never heard of that, Ray, so I'm going to
it's so good. It's really, really cool. I love that game.
Awesome. On my list, y'all talked about everything on my list. Besides my Furnace, Fantastic Factories, and NAR, I also had It's a Wonderful World, which Richard just talked about, Splendor, Wingspan, Terraform Mars, Ares Expedition, and Whirling Witchcraft. I had no surprises on my list, so there it is.
We've got some shout out in the chat. Steampunk Rally, I've never played, but I saw it mentioned a lot on lists when I was cross-referencing.
It's a terrific game. It's a really, really fun game. A race game with dice manipulation and whatnot. B. Travis is also talking about Point City. Wonderful engine building game. A lighter one.
Scott, I thought about Lorenzo, but I didn't want to put I really love Lorenzo, but I didn't want to put Lorenzo on it because I feel I like the worker placement aspect more than engine building. If we do top worker placements, that might be on my list. But I think because I find the worker placement in there is so tight, that is what shines as a mechanic for me. And I don't consider, but you are running your yellow and your green buildings for sure, and trying to chain those things in. But only if you get to go to those spots. I think that's the key.
Right, and that ties it all back into what we've been saying from the get-go. Engine building, it really is nebulous, and because I love Lorenzo, but first thing in my mind, Chris, as well, worker placement. That's what I think of. But but you are right. You are running.
If there's any other mechanic, it will supersede engine building. Even with Furnace, I'm that's an auction game.
Right.
I didn't even think about it.
Right?
Because it's such a catch-all mechanic. If anything else is stronger, unless it's purely engine building, I think it gets written off in our brains as other things very often. So I like that some of the ones that people are bringing up fit into that category, right? Of they have other very prevalent mechanics, but they are also engine building, and you might not associate them together. Which is cool.
Project L or Anno 1800.
That's right. And on that note, folks, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks again for sticking around. We went a little over. We'll do better on time next time. Speaking of next time, we're going back to our regular day, Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Pacific, as always. And we'll have another great list for you, have another great time for you. And why don't we raid someone? I'm going to find someone to raid right now.
And as we raid, Ray can tell us about the big reveal.
All right, Ray.
Deepak Chopra's Day in the Big City. Coming to a board game near you. Is that... Did I get it?
No. I will just remind everyone, check the Op Socials tomorrow. We're announcing a relaunch of a classic board game that you probably heard of before, and we're making it look really nice. And then
Just whisper it. Just
I
whisper
said it
it.
backwards just now.
Oh,
really?
backwards. Oh,
Okay.
Rewind the
Ruel,
tape.
stop. Raid the stream. We gotta re-listen to it.
Okay, let's raid. Let me see. War Game Monday. Someone...
I love how we're acting like it's super secret. We've already teased it a little bit on our socials. It would take about a solid 5 minutes for you to go figure it
And
out.
it's literally launching the next day. Like it's not something that like
Nice.
you could talk about. But I think it's funnier this way too. So.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay,
Thanks,
let's
chat.
raid.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah,
Thanks,
folks. We're gonna
everybody. Have a good
raid
day.
Flipsy Fiona. They're playing some Wormspan right now, so let's show some love. Say hi to them. Let them know what you're up to, and we're gonna raid them right now. And let's see if it goes. I just pressed the button, and we
have a
raid
good
done.
week, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I think it's there. I'm over on
Oh.
Wormspan.